Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the final round of the URC before the playoffs, and there are 9 sides who have the potential of playing in those quarters. Cardiff are one, Stormers are another. There are also 2 games taking place at the same time as this one, so it's going to be a hectic couple hours for the URC, and a very telling one. Edinburgh playing Connacht. If Connacht win that game, completely changes the top 8. If they lose that game, we kind of get a top 8 confirmed heading into the games tomorrow, which can still change a lot when it comes to those home quarterfinals just in a couple weeks' time. This is the table, and you couldn't ask for a closer finish. At the moment, the top 3 are relatively secure, more so the top 2. Stormers and Glasgow, I believe the way that it sits, they cannot be caught by anyone but Leinster. Theoretically, actually, no, the Bulls could sneak there, depending on what happens in the Stormers versus Cardiff game. But, yeah, there's a lot that can change. But the top 4 are relatively confirmed in terms of the top. It's very complicated, but a lot of fun along the way as well. But Stormers are sitting in second. They have 1 point behind the Glasgow Warriors currently, who will be playing up against Ulster, a side that are fighting for their top 8 spot. So a lot can change. And we're going to keep you updated about everything that is happening while also enjoying this Cardiff versus Stormers match. Looking through at the starting sides, in terms of the front row for Cardiff, it is Danny Southworth, Liam Belcher, and also Javier and Sebastian. As the number 3, George Knott alongside Rory Thornton in the lock-in duo with James Botham, Daniel Thomas, and Tane Basham. As the number 8, Johan Mulder alongside Owen Lloyd. As their 9 and 10 combination, Tom Bowen out on the left wing, Rory Jennings and Ben Thomas in the midfield with Jacob Betham and Cameron Winnett as the number 15. For the Stormers, the big man Otutuku Machuno in the front row alongside Andre Higofenta and Nieling Faucher, Array Smith and Ruben van Heeren in the locking duo with Paul de Villiers moving into 6. That is due to that injury that we saw last week of Dion Foree, Ben Jason Dixon at 7 and Evan Roos, man who did very nicely last week, he slots in as the number 8, Ahmad Khan and Sasha Feinberg Ngume Zulu as the 9 and 10 combination. Lelion Zas out on the left wing, Jonathan Roach and Similani in the midfield, Hudson Berg out on the right, and Damien Valimza back at number 15, something that some Stormers fans thought we weren't going to see throughout the rest of the season. Wada Kalant has been playing 15, Damien Valimza has been playing 14, 12, or wherever they can find a gap for him. Now in his preferred position here as the number 15. We have got hello Hamish and the lad says, Big Greg, welcome in. Hope you are doing extremely well. We've got come on Stormers from Bruce. Want Connacht to finish top 8. Munster, Ulster and Cardiff are in the way. Go the Stormers, says Jimbo. And the fact that there are so many possibilities at this stage, you know, some competitions, although not many this year, to be fair, normally you have a rough idea who's going to finish where by this stage. Final round, you'd think, okay, maybe 1 or 2 sides switch around, maybe a home semi-final or something, but everyone can technically move in the top 8. There is no one safe, except for the fact that 4 teams, the top 4, are safe from the chance of missing out. They cannot get kicked out of the quarterfinals, but they can certainly lose their home quarters, depending on what we see happen in a few of the matches we have got there. I hope you're having a better day than the Highlanders. Says Big Rig there. Well, yeah, the Islanders, they did have a rough time. I am very much so concerned about Caleb Tangitau. I know in the next couple of days they're going to tell us exactly how long that man is out for, but Damien McKenzie, another guy who took a nasty knock from that game, Nikora Broughton, he's going to be probably out for a while with how injured he looked when he made his way from the field. So it was a bad day for both of those sides in terms of the old injury count, and hopefully from this game we can avoid all sorts of injuries, because we've got to remember, for these 2 sides, they do have a spot in that quarterfinal on the line. And both could be there. One might miss out, but you don't want to lose some of your players now. And I had a bit of a dream before this match got underway, and I don't know if I should mention it because it may jinx them. But I'm going to mention it anyway and hope for the best, that I don't do some sort of commentator's curse. But I had a dream about this game before this match took place, which is relatively common when you have so much rugby on the mind. But I had a dream that Sasha had a knee injury. And I hope that that's wrong, because if they lose him at this stage of the contest or this stage of the competition, I think that completely changes the outcome of their playoff games. So hopefully it's just a dream and nothing in reality does set in. Hey, Hamish, how are you, mate? Says Gray. I'm doing well. Got a little snooze in before this match, which is something a little bit unheard of for a 6:35am game. All right, 6:45, I should say. We've still got about 10 minutes until this match does kick off. We have got there as well Stormers 36-25. What happened in the Chiefs game? The Chiefs won comfortably in the end, getting themselves the bonus point and moving to number 1 in the Super Rugby Pacific standings. And we have got the Hello Rugby Rockets tuning into the Kiwi Lads commentary. Says Ruth, welcome in. 1 second, we will go like this, and we will go like this as well. We better let you know what these two sides have been doing up until this stage. For Cardiff, they had their close game up against Benetton in the the Challenge Cup. They did lose that one narrowly, which then meant that they had a couple weeks where they weren't playing too much rugby. They missed out on the quarterfinals, and then also missed out on those semis taking place after that. But as you can see, with the exception of that Glasgow Warriors match that took place just last week, they've had some very close games. A couple good old Welsh derbies where they were able to win both games by 4 and 3 points. So, yeah, 3 of their last 4 games separated by 5 or less. This game at home, they were away last week up against the Glasgow Warriors. They haven't done badly at home this year, Cardiff, but the Stormers side, they are looking like a well-oiled machine, and they will come out firing in this contest. They will know that at the moment, the home quarter is there. The home semi is still debatable, because if we see the Bulls get a big win over Benetton and the Stormers receive 0 bonus points from this game, theoretically, the Bulls can overtake them. Leinster can overtake them. So, yeah, it pretty much is thoroughly important for the Stormers to at least get 1 point from this game. That takes the Bulls catch-up out of the equation, but it doesn't take Leinster out of the situation either. We've got there the Stormers' most recent games. They've had a couple close ones, including last week, their game up against Ulster, which turned into an absolute thriller with a 38-38 draw. Now, both sides will be a little bit disappointed that they didn't win that contest, but also, the points that were available, depending on what happens this round, could have been the difference between making it and missing out. Looking at Ulster in particular, had they not got themselves the draw from that game, they could have been sitting in 9th at this stage with their game up against Glasgow just around the corner. It's going to be kicking off in around that 8 minutes like this one as well. But there's a lot to talk about for this URC in terms of this stage of the comp. Like I said, there are many games that can change, and what I'm going to be doing a little bit along the way is we're going to have the live standings down the bottom of the screen, something that we don't often do. But as the games progress, we're going to be updating this as well as the live scores that will be coming just a little bit later on along the bottom. Oh yeah, I can't believe you had that Sasha dream. I thought about it this morning over coffee and how we need that guy to stay fit, says the great. Yeah, so hopefully the dream is wrong. To be fair, I've dreamed up score lines and they haven't happened, so that's a good sign. That means that nothing to worry about at this stage. It's never boring with the Stormers, says Jimbo. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get with this side, although you do know you're going to get some points. They have got a plus 166 points differential from this URC season, the most of any side. Relax, I had a dream that I won the lottery. Says Neil. Well, hopefully that one happens more so than the Sasha one, Neil. In that case, and Hayes says, what's up, guys, live? Is the worst, Bulls is the worst team in South Africa. Well, they're just not, are they, at the moment, if you're looking at the URC table. And once again, I apologise to any Sharks viewers, but if you're looking at the South African sides, the Sharks are the only ones missing out on the quarterfinals at this stage. Now, technically, believe it or not, the Lions can miss out with the games that we've got coming up. Munster if they beat the Lions, Cardiff if they beat the Stormers, Ulster if they beat Glasgow, and Connacht if they beat Edinburgh. If all of those results happen, the Lions can actually miss out, which would be such a gutting thing for them. Definitely because this season, I feel they've been much stronger than they've been in the past, and they've been unlucky to miss out in the past. So, yeah, they need one of those results just to go their way a little bit, to feel that slightly more secure. And it could be after one of the matches here. If we see Ulster lose, for instance, then the Lions are safe. If we see Connacht lose, everyone's safe. Except for maybe if they get a couple bonus points along the way. Their game last week up against Munster, they really put the pedal down. They were able to win it 26 points to 7, which in the end gave them not just the win, but also the bonus point to put them more in the equation here. So, yeah, busy old times. But 5 minutes away from the kickoff. In terms of the matches as well, we've got 8 of them taking place this round. You missed my greetings, Hamish. Well, I do apologise, Craig. If it makes you feel slightly better, I did miss about 7 messages in a row I did see Jean also put their hi all well, all long time. Hope all is kicking in well, says Jean. It is indeed. And Sharks not the best this year, but still with my team, says Jan. And also we've got their Lions will know what they need, says Jimbo. And do you know, or did you know that the stupid Auckland FC won their second leg semi-final? Did you know that the stupid, well then that's good, is it not, for people? I guess maybe you were going for the other team. We have got the hello peeps from a cold Port Elizabeth, says Roz. And as Amish, hope you're doing extremely well, says Yanko. I'm excited. I'm also very nervous for these sides because there's just so much that's going to happen throughout the next kind of, I would say 2 hours is going to be the probably 2 most stressful hours of the URC we have seen throughout this season. And it's going to keep on going up and down. There's going to be sides that make it into the top 8, then are missing out. Home quarterfinals, then missing out. So, yeah. It's going to be good, though. It should be very exciting. Good evening from Cape Town, says Jeremy Yakos. Welcome in. Do you still like me? We're not doing this again, Mohadin. I feel like we've said that about 15 times throughout the last couple of months. We have got there a lot of people saying Roach is the new Damien Dialende. Let's check him out. Yeah, there were a lot of people happy to see Jonathan Roach back in the Stormers side. There's been a little bit of, I want to say there's been some good form for the backs, but there's also been that little bit at times where people aren't so sold on the selections that we're seeing from the Stormers backline. Now, all I'll say is for a side to be second in the overall standings and have as much criticism put towards them as they have is thoroughly surprising, but at the same time it's not. But, you know, they're sitting good at the moment, the Stormers. They are favourites heading into this game. Stormers by 5. Also, Cardiff by 5 from Birdie. And what are your thoughts? I think the Stormers should be able to get the job done. I think that they've got plenty of potential across their starting lineup. And Cardiff seem like they've lost a little bit of momentum as the seasons wore on. But that doesn't mean too much here. Because at the end of the day, if they play well for 80 minutes now, they'll be going through. Next, Mohadin is going to ask if you'd like him. If he was a worm, says Yanko. And what do you think of Salmon playing tonight? I think it's a good choice. I still said it a few weeks ago, and I stand by it. I think that Salmon Moura is one of the, I want to say, the most unlucky players in terms of fan support in almost the whole world of rugby. I'm glad that he's going overseas, and I'm glad that he's collecting a big paycheck to do so, because if that man has a good game, people still find a way to drag him down. So I'm happy to see that he's going to be making some money. And hopefully he will get to go somewhere where he's a little bit more supported. Is Roy now injured again? I think so. I think that's why he's been left out and they've had to make a bit of a change in the midfield. Because, yeah, they have had a drastic change compared to what we saw last week. I'm not a fan of Salmon. Crucify now, says Roz. And we have to think the Stormers will win with 12 points. And Stormers must turn up and not take the things for granted. Yeah, I think that both of these sides know how crucial this game is. Because Cardiff, this is their competition here. Don't get me wrong. The Stormers need this win if they want that home quarter, home semi, home final situation. But Cardiff, if they want to play in 2 weeks' time, they need points here. Whether that's, well, the thing is, 2 points might be enough. 4 tries or more, and then also the losing by less than 7. It may get them there, but at the same time, that also might not be enough with some of the other changes. We have you there. Is it Sears' last game tomorrow for the Sharks? Yeah, it is. Seeing as the Sharks are out of the URC. And we have got there, crucify me after that statement, Cape Townians. No, it seems to be the Cape Town ones who don't like him the most. What was the score for the Chiefs game? In the end, the Chiefs winning it by 30, 42 points to 12. In that contest, like everyone says, Bruce. Well, they're just showing that back line. It is stacked for this game. The return of Roach. Hudsonberg also back out there for the Stormers. And Damien Willemse back in that number 15 jersey. The Bulls under 23 won today. The final, the first trophy for the year. Next is the URC trophy. Says Bulls, and a big win in their game up against Benetton would help them get that little bit closer to playing at Loftus in the future. Cardiff are a pack-driven team. They'll wake up the Stormers first minute, says Jimbo. Yeah, they've had some good defensive work, the Cardiff side, but then they also do sometimes concede a lot of points. And that's nothing against them. When you look through at the top sides, 1 second, we'll go like this. You look through at the top 10 right? The only side with a negative points differential is Cardiff. Now, that means that they've scored a lot of points, but they've also conceded a lot along the way. And when they get beaten badly. That's the one thing for Cardiff that sometimes has been their slip-up throughout this season. Now, because of all these sides having 10 wins each, Ulster and Connacht both having 9, that can also come into play for the end standings. And I do see Ulster Glasgow is just about to kick off. We've also got that one in the co-stream. So I'm watching it in the bottom corner. We're covering this Cardiff versus Stormers game and also keeping an eye on Edinburgh, their game that's coming up against Connacht there as well. If Cardiff are a good team, they can be. In front of the home crowd, knowing that their playoffs are on the line, they may come out here firing at a new level that we haven't seen for a little while. The Stormers have such an exciting backline, says Grace 619. Lions and Springbok prop Azanati Klabakanye is serving an 18-month ban. United Rugby following an anti-doping violation. Yeah, going to be missing out that World Cup for Azanati Klabakanye. And also missing the game tomorrow for the Lions. He will not be available for the rest of the URC either. And how's it, everyone? What pleasant discovery. I didn't know the game was this evening. Thanks, Amish, says Roger. And yeah, there are 3 matches taking place at the same time. Commentating 2 games? No, we are going to be commentating this one, but we'll keep you updated with what is happening in the other games that are taking place as well. Sad about our Sharks and their atrocious and embarrassing performances. All the box in the team. Says Roz. Yeah, it is surprising when you look through at the side that they've got and the squad that they've got. The results should be better than 10th, but kicked off by Cardiff. The Super Saturday for us here in New Zealand, but it's Super Friday night, I guess, for you guys in the north and in South Africa, but that is going to be an early mistake made by Cardiff. And that is going to be the kick not going 10 metres, something that you don't see too often. But a mistake made from Owen Lloyd, and it does give the scrum feed now to the Stormers around the halfway line. As Stormers can do it, we need 3 teams and the playoffs to prove to the world we got the talent. Says Donald. Yeah, I guess at the moment, Ireland have 3, don't they? Because they've got Leinster, Munster. Well, no, not necessarily Munster. But no matter what, because they've got 4 in the top 9, they are guaranteed the 3. So South Africa are all but there as well, with the exception maybe of the Lions. Like I mentioned, there's like 4 differences that can happen in terms of the games that can completely skew with the overall table. Big scrum from the Stormers, and they get themselves the early penalty advantage. And it looks like it's going to be play on just for now. Evan Roos driving with the legs, trying to get through Johan Mulder. Now away to the left-hand side. Sasha passes one more. This is nice work from the Stormers back. Similani goes to Hudson-Berg, put on the grubber in behind. Cardiff, they've had a little bit of a slip of the ball, a knock on from Lilian Zas. They're actually going to go right back. Oh no, the initial knock on is what they're going to go for here. Hello, everyone. See you, Zanny. We have got the Amish. What's your thoughts on players using illegal substances and then getting banned? Well, the thing is, the sentence kind of speaks for itself. If the substances are illegal, then you should be banned. Now, the Klabakanye situation is a little bit more complicated than that, but the sad reality is he took a substance that he wasn't supposed to. Was he set up by his doctor for not knowing the technicalities? Maybe, but as a player, you still have to be fully aware of what you're putting in your body, and that's where you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. We've seen quite a few guys recently. Look at Shirakadze. I think he was more than aware of what he was putting in the body. But now, big scrum here. Evan Roos looking to pick this ball up off the back if he gets the chance, and that looked a little bit offside from Cardiff, and it is going to be the penalty advantage because of it. Now, Array Smith pops it up to Ruben van Heeren. Oh, nice steal in the breakdown from Cardiff, and they may consider a rolling maul chance here. We have got there, yes, they should find the dock as well. Yeah, true, says Birdie. Yes, but why are the substances banned when it just clears a cold and flu? I don't think both substances were just cold and flu ones. They were different. Like it's all very technical, and I don't want to get myself in trouble in terms of pharmaceutical terms, but like once again, you got to check that list and see what is allowed, what isn't. Now, the good thing that he did was declaring it, or else he would have probably ended up with a 5-year ban rather than 18 months. But now, line out here for Array Hugo Fenta. This is the big chance for the Stormers to get the early points on the board. Still 0-0 in the Ulster versus Glasgow game as well, I should mention. Now it's trying to get this one rolling. It's going sideways a little bit here, although now starting to straighten up a bit more. Ray Hugo Fenta just short of the line. He's going to fall down. That is nicely defended by Cardiff, and they managed to do it without giving away the penalty advantage as well here. Looks like Nelling Fouchier was waiting for the chance to go over the line. That is very close, and that has to be almost on the line. Evan Roos looks like he's going to have a crack at it. What side does he look? He looks to his side, and there is the penalty advantage in play now. Does Roos pop it up, or does he go himself? They're going to go with the penalty. Referee blowing the whistle very early there, and he's blown it because there's going to be a yellow card. Liam Belcher, the captain of Cardiff, going to be taken off the field now. That is the last thing that this Cardiff side needed, is to lose their skipper in a moment like that. And it's just down to repeat infringements just out from their own line. Shit, I can't say. I was just swabbing the urine. I kind of taking the blame for the team as he's trying to help the boys who dealt in some recreational stuff. Right, what do they do now if you're the Stormers? Do you kick for the corner? Do you go again? Verdict. Looks like they're going to go scrum. Spot on, Hamish. I think if it was good enough to be a professional player, I would memorise the list of substances and share it with all my healthcare providers. Too risky not to, says the Grey 619. Yeah, definitely, like in nowadays as well, with how microscoped players are, you know, in terms of the keeping an eye on them, and also, like, you just don't know what's in things. Like, normally, you gotta get on that Google and go, right, what are my options? What are the, because, yeah, there's all the technicalities in respect of the team. I do not like yellow or reds. And yeah, looks like there's going to be another change here for Cardiff as well due to an injury. So not only have they lost their captain, now I believe they've lost one of their backs too. And it looks like the scrum here. This is a good choice from the Stormers, and they have to make sure that Evan Roos gets this ball straight away. And we have got their Cardiff, or Cardiff, I assume that is, from Roz there. Currently 5 minutes through this fixture. There is an injury in the Ulster game too. Wales cannot catch a break. Says, what's up, guys? Yeah, it's brutal. Oh, that's a brutal scrum now, though. Evan Roos waiting for this ball at the back. Going short side. Ahmad Khan gets over, and he's got it down. No, never mind. He's been held up. That looked like it was good. But the penalty is awarded again. It looks like Stormers are just going to keep on piling on this pressure. And now there's another warning for Cardiff about their scrum. This is brutal at the moment for this side. Andrew Brace is all over them. And he is giving them a second warning here. 5 minutes into the game. They could be with 13 men on the field for disciplinary issues 6 minutes in. It's a bit like the Georgian captain providing clean urine samples for 3 teammates, having the lads out. Says Fleshin. And also Evan Roos to score off the scrum. The thing is, the scrum's that dominant though. Roos isn't getting a chance to pick this ball up. It ends up behind him. He's trying to kick it forward, but it's hitting his teammates' feet in front. That's brilliant defence from Cardiff to be able to stop that chance of the Stormers scoring. But they need some sort of luck here. They need a penalty or some big moment, a turnover. Something that can help them win a little bit of the possession game here and get out of their own 22, because they're currently only 5 metres out. And every time the scrum hits of the Stormers, it is hitting, and it is hitting hard. Evan Roos again controlling this ball at the back. It is pure power. Like they've said again, looked like they were slightly offside there, Cardiff, but they've actually done well to be able to keep this one on the side, or at least keep this one 5 metres out, I should say. Now up to Ruben van Heeren. Evan Roos, he's always someone that you keep an eye on this early on in the game. I learned that he has scored 5 times or so as the first try scorer in the game for the Stormers throughout this season. So when he scores early. But they've been able to shut him down thus far. And I think that he will definitely be one of those key players that they just keep a firm eye on to make sure that he can't make his way over. Now they're just short of the line. Good clean out in the breakdown from the Stormers. Ray Smith. He's got Paul de Villiers with him. They're just short of the line. Now they're over. And I think it's Ray Smith who's going to get credit. Yes, it is. The big lock. The man who has been able to score it. And the Stormers, they strike early in this contest. Now, we will get a little bit of an update going, ladies and gentlemen, once that try gets all cleared and everything like that. Hello, Amish, how's it going? Says, Given doing very well. Great commentary, my TV. So I'm listening without a screen, says Vanessa. So yeah, hopefully you are doing well. I said a Cardiff week or something. Says, what's up, guys? And also over there, let's go Stormers. A nice start, says the Grey. Yeah, the pressure that they're putting on. I'll be honest, Cardiff did well to defend that as long as they did. With the scrum dominance we are seeing from the Stormers, it's going to be a long day at the office for this Cardiff side if they don't find their rhythm. But the good news for them is they're now not 5 metres out from their own line. We have a go there in an earlier game today. You said a player got tackled and it might end his All Blacks career. Any update on that injury? So I didn't say that it would end his career. I said that more than likely it would end his season. And at the moment, it does seem like it is a season ender for Caleb Tangitau. They'll get a few more things checked beforehand. They're just showing the grounding for Ray Smith. No chance in the Ulster match. They're sparring. Said Jimbo. Yeah, and at the moment, we better change some things in that bottom one. So, Stormers are now leading 7 points to 0. And because of that, this is going to take a lot of work, isn't it? I've just realised in terms of reshuffling the sides. I'll update it every 20 minutes in terms of the live table, just because at the moment, the Stormers are sitting number 1. But of course, if anyone scores in that Glasgow game, Glasgow in particular, that completely changes it back. But we'll keep the scores hopefully updated along the way. What channel are you watching on? URC TV here in New Zealand. Trying to slap that ball back were the Stormers and unable to do so. Now, looking to go away to the right-hand side, Johan Mulder. Do you think Leicester could be considered on the flank for the ABs? Maybe. He's done pretty nicely there for the Crusaders a couple games in a row. There's the try from Glasgow, so they go straight back into the lead in terms of the overall standings. That is exactly what I was afraid of happening. So we're going to give the Glasgow Warriors their 7 points and everyone's back to level again. Now away to the left-hand side, Ray Hugo Fenta just outside of the 22 for the Stormers. We are 9 minutes in. Just the early try for Ardre Smith. He's someone who you don't normally pick to get over the try line, but Imad Khan will kick this one up. Hudson-Berg slapping it sideways and into touch. So Cardiff will get themselves the line out here. I'm now a member of the Kiwi Lads, says Grace. So you now have access to those random emojis that you see every once in a while in the chat. And Glasgow just got to try and a kick. They did indeed, yes. So they are right back into the equation now. In terms of the overall standings, Edinburgh versus Connacht, it is still 0-0 between those two sides. So if you're Cardiff, what do you do from here? Score would help, but they're starting to get a little bit of territory. It was a good kick downfield to force the Stormers into putting the ball out. Well, it wasn't their kick, it was actually the Stormers' kick, but they've got the line out. That's the main thing here, 40 metres out from the line, and Mulder going away to the right. Cardiff, like I mentioned, they've scored some great tries throughout this year. They have conceded a lot, though, too, and they are down to 14 just for now. Scoreboard incorrect, says Bruce it is. It didn't want to give Sasha his 2 points. But hopefully it updates in the near future. Johan Mulder going back across to the left-hand side, breaking the line now for Cardiff. Nice ball on the inside from Lloyd. If anything, it was a little bit low, and Mulder has knocked it on. And it now gives the advantage to the Stormers who are inside of their own 22. Do you think it's worth risking Sasha in a game like this? I think you've got to keep him in there. I think you've got to use that form to your advantage. Plus, if the Stormers were to drop this game, they could theoretically go down to 4th, which would lose their home semi-final. So I think that they knew this game was crucial and they didn't want to break up too much. Definitely we've got to remember a few other changes already made in the back line. We see Valimza going back to 15, Hudson-Berg at 14, and also Roach alongside Similani in the midfield. This may not be a mile away from what they use in their playoff game back line. So you've got to give it some minutes before that stage, or else you go into that quarterfinal a little bit blind, and that can hurt sides big time too. Definitely with the uncertainty of who they're going to be playing as well. If they do qualify in that number 1 or 2 spot. Now breaking off the back, it is Daniel Thomas. A much needed possession here for the Cardiff boys. Now flying forward into the tackle of Ruben van Heeren. Hi, how are you, says Zwan. Welcome in. Hope you are doing very well. And it's a hectic time at the moment in the URC. 3 games happening simultaneously. That does not happen too often whatsoever. But they've decided to do it. That's a great diving catch from James Botham. Could have easily been driven into touch and somehow keeps the ball alive 2 times in a row. The elbow looked like it was in touch. It's going to be play on. Morning, Hamish. Cardiff have got their hands full on this one, absolutely. And their competition depends on at least a couple points here. Of course, depending on what Connacht do in their game up against Edinburgh. If Connacht lose, then we've got our top 8 completely secured. But until then, you just never know. We have got their... Who else kicks for the Stormers other than Sasha? They've got the option of Valimza. For some reason, I feel like I've seen Ahmad Khan kick before. I could be wrong, though. Might be mixing them up with someone else, but they've got a few options. Worst comes to worst. Looks like an injury here at the moment for, I want to say that's Andre Hugofenta, who has stayed down, and yeah, they're going to be checking him here. This looks relatively serious, and he looks like he's potentially had a nasty head knock here. And Glasgow try was 15 phases end to end. They are very back. And also we have there, Glasgow just got another try. Never mind, it was a replay, says Holdy. And also, tell you what, the chat's going quick at the moment, that is for sure. I've missed about 15 messages at the moment, so I do apologise. Listening from Cape Town, the storm settled and the weather is calm today. Play up the storm that side, boys. And Edinburgh penalty at the scrum, says Sean. Yeah, so currently 7-0 in this game. 7-0 in Glasgow versus Ulster to Glasgow. And then also Edinburgh Connacht 15 minutes in 0-0. Whereas Mani Labok, he's in Japan at the moment. Right, this is interesting. Andre Hugofenta getting a little bit of attention on their eye as well here. Connacht won't lose to Edinburgh. Well, they shouldn't. And that makes things very technical and very exciting in the... Andre Hugofenta actually did it to himself there with the way that he made that tackle. He actually ate the elbow of Johan Mulder, went in a little bit high and unfortunately has paid the price for it, taking the knock just above the eyelid. Can't put on slow motion message. Says Kevin there. An armless, says Studs Rays. It didn't look great, but I don't think he got close enough to be able to make a no arms tackle because of he ate the elbow of Mulder first before he got there. But 90 seconds remaining of this Cardiff yellow card. Looks like Rob Hearing at the moment is getting some medical attention in the Ulster game. There's a lot of guys going down injured this round. And it's a big concern because, of course, you're in that scenario only 2 weeks away from your first game of the playoffs. That is, of course, if both these sides are there, Cardiff still need some points. Currently, they would be receiving 1. But yeah, the eye of Andre Hugofenta looks like it's closing here. And he is going to be replaced by JJ Kutsia. So not what the Stormers would have been after. Definitely after the way that they've been scrummaging the early stages of this game. Lavot can stay in Japan, please. He probably wants to. He's on better money and he's getting respected when he's over there. So he might as well stay there and make the big dollars. And Cape Town always got bad weather. Another must stay on. He's an awesome scrummager. Says the Grey. Now, it's going to be the scrum here. Cardiff, 13 minutes in. Starting to get a little bit more territory going. And compared to where we saw them in the first 5 minutes, which was just out from their line, repeatedly trying to defend, so that they are definitely not sitting too badly currently. They need to keep the momentum going. And also have a Challenge Cup final. That is true. They've got their game next week up against Montpellier. Where's Japan players coming back for the Springboks? I believe it's late June, early July is when they find themselves in there. Mani Labok, not sure he bought plans. He seems to be in Rassi's though, because we've got to remember last year and the year prior when he was getting absolutely crucified by the public, Rassi said, I'm sticking with him, and he's in the squad for a reason. So even if the viewers can't see why he's in there, I would say that Rassi obviously has a fair old decent game plan involving him, and that's why he always is in the squad. That sucks. Alt called and played due to opposition injury and having a scrum against that pack. Said Studs Race, although to their credit, they've done well, Cardiff. They've managed to win the ball that time, but yeah, could have easily gone the either way. They're going off to the left-hand side. Now stepping Owen Lloyd. They're about 15 metres out from the line now. Cardiff, Johan Mulder across again. Big tackle made by the Stormers' defence, but they need to keep it strong or else Cardiff start to feel that little bit of momentum. About 10 metres from the try line now. Each carry, they're making metres too. That's a high shot coming from, it looks like there's an injury for one of the Stormers players too. It might be Andre Smith, the try scorer. He stayed down here. He might be head knock situation here too. We have got there, yes, Lubbock was selected over Sasha. Now Sasha is selected over Pollard. Says Xander. And Andre is only in team because of Rasi. Says Martin. You're talking about Andre Hugo Fenta? Or you're talking about Andre... I assume you're not talking about Andre Esterhazen. But, yeah, at this stage, Andre Hugo Fenta is not a confirmed mock. He had his opportunities. He did end up missing out throughout the last couple of seasons. But now, it looks like Cardiff, they will have themselves the penalty, 10 metres out from the line. And by the looks of it, with where they're shaping up, this is going to be a line out here for Cardiff. How is Andre Smith? He's still down with his injury. Rasi is a great coach, and he's given Andre an opportunity, and why not? Everyone has to start somewhere. Says Vanessa. Yes, Andre Hugo Fenta. But the thing is, when you look at the size of the alignment camps and everything along those lines, it's not really a surprise that Andre Hugo Fenta finds himself in there. Oh. Okay, potential eye gouge, they've said here. Okay, number 6, Ben Jason Dixon. Oh, no, sorry, that would actually be Paul de Villiers. So one of the medics has just asked the referee about that situation, saying that it should be a penalty. And the referee's pretty much said, look, you're a medic. Like, we've checked it. It was his own player. So shut up, in other words, from Andrew Brace there, shutting down the outside noise in the early stages of the game. A rolling maul now for Cardiff. It has stopped in its tracks from the defence, and now the advantage going against the Stormers here. Belcher's back out on the field. Going to make up for the mistake earlier on with his yellow card. Still under penalty advantage. Back out, Johan Mulder. Backline movement here. Owen Lloyd with the cross kick. Awkward bouncing ball, beautifully taken. And the try is scored by Cardiff. And it is Jacob Beetham who has managed to score at Cardiff right back in this game now. And why do people keep trying to gouge the Welsh, or the eyes of Welshmen? And good stuff, Cardiff needed that one. Wales clubs aren't bad. I guess that's why Wales is so bad. Oh, sorry, aren't great. Says Kevin. And also I heard Rasi has given, or being given the order. Oh, I'm not sure what that is. All right, Marnie, Sasha, and Pollard in box team. Maybe Rasi can't make up his mind yet. Well, the thing is, there's a situation where you can have all three of them in there. Because, you know, the squads, a lot of teams will go 3 first fives. And the benefit you've got with those 3 men, particularly, you know, in Sasha's case, you've got a little bit of versatility for the other positions too. Andre Pollard, the same. He could play in the centres if they really want to go for him out there as well. That is a great kick from the sideline from Cardiff. And that is now, after 17 minutes, going to make the score 7-all. Between these two sides, Cardiff, from this situation, would receive 2 points. And that would almost be enough to secure them their spot through to the quarterfinals. Now, in the other games, currently it is 7-0 for Glasgow over Ulster, 0-all in Edinburgh Connacht. They are taking that game relatively close and deep into that first half. Now kicked off by the Stormers. They haven't been inside of Cardiff's half for the last 10 or so minutes. It seems like it's made a big difference. Our players appealing to the ref for a penalty is illegal. Medics and water carriers shouldn't be allowed to talk to the ref at all. I agree. I feel like they're out there to attend to their players, and that's what they should be doing. We have you there. I think this is going to be an interesting game, and actually players shouldn't talk to the ref either, says Suds Race. And now ball's going to be there for Cardiff. Johan Mulder, he will go back into the pocket, told to use it. The last thing that they want here is to get timed out. And Cardiff only had 14. They had 15 at that stage. Belcher was back out there. He was actually at the back of the rolling maul initially for the side. But now, big run from Ben Jason Dixon. Go the Stormers, give it to us, please. And a penalty awarded to Cardiff in the breakdown. No clear release. That was the captain, Belcher, again. And the Stormers, with a bit of backchat, have been marched forward 10. That is not a good look for a side that do need this victory early on in the contest. Maybe frustration setting in. I mean, I don't blame the medic for going, hey lads, this guy got jabbed in the eye. Yeah, but the worst thing about it was his own player who jabbed him in the eye. So the medics have gone and asked the referee, or kind of criticised the referee for not doing his job when they had already cleared it. Is Halfpenny on the bench? He is. Last ever game for Lee Halfpenny in the Cardiff Blues colours. Up the Blues, says a rugby itch. And there as well, Edinburgh so far have been the dominant side, although they do still sit 0-0, don't they? So domination is one thing, but domination with points is another, and that's where they need to head towards. Medic should have told the captain who can tell the ref. Exactly. He should have been a little bit more aware of kind of where he stands on the rugby picking order. But yeah, you pass it on to the captain. The captain says, hey, referee, sorry, I just want to quickly check something. Was there an eye gouge? The referee goes, yep, we just checked it. It was your own player who did it. Everyone's happy. We have got there ours, Andre Smith. He's all right. He's doing well. He back up on his feet, which is surprising because he looked like he was down for a while. But then we found out that was because of the finger in the eye rather than because of a head knock, which is good news. Kyle Stain down in the Glasgow Warriors game. Players dropping like flies in this round at the moment. Hopefully he will be all right for the playoffs. Now backline movement here for Cardiff. Nice and beautiful passing in quick succession. Offload on the outside. Cardiff to the corner. And they score again. It's the other winger, Tom Bowen. And the Cardiff Blues have taken the lead in this matchup. I'm conflicted. I want Cardiff to win so that lends the pass out the Stormers. But I'd also like to see the Stormers win so that all the Irish provinces can qualify for the European Cup. So come on the draw, says Gavin. But Tom Bowen just scored a very impressive try in the corner. It's going to give Cardiff the lead in this matchup. That's Magic, great try. Yeah, just a clean backline from the Cardiff side, seeing the opportunity to shift it and going with it. Which players have impressed you this URC this season? There's a long list, to be fair. I will go specifically for these two sides because that's much easier than the whole comp. I'd say that Evan Ruiz, with the exception of his discipline, has been impressive from that number 8 jersey. Now, whether or not that discipline is enough to stop Rassi from selecting him is a bit 50-50. Sasha's been solid in the 10 jersey throughout this year. That one's just going to miss away to the side. Paul de Villiers has been a pretty underrated part of this Stormers season, and I think he hasn't received the credit that he deserves because he has had some key moments, some crucial turnovers, and actually quite a few tries along the way as well. Speaking of tries, Cardiff, they did just score theirs, of course, but they missed the kick. So the score will remain 12 points to 7. The sacrificial face plant on the put down, wonderful try. Yeah, I don't know if he realised he was going face first into that turf when he first did the dive, but then he certainly did when he hit the ground. Sasha kicking this one off again for the Stormers. If you eye gouge your own teammate in his career, it wouldn't go down well. I can imagine you'd probably be unpopular. It's like when you knee your teammate in the head. That's what ended one of the other Kiwi lads' rugby careers. He got kneed in the head by a teammate. Ulster have just scored. And that is going to be Zach Ward by the looks of it, who has crossed the try line. They're now drawing in that game. Now, great take in the air from the Stormers, who are now getting some much-needed attack going. It's like I said, they haven't really had an attacking chance inside of Cardiff's half for the last about 15 minutes. Now running it forward is Damien Valimza. Connacht just scored, says Sean. So yeah, Edinburgh will be frustrated then. If they've been dominating the first 20 minutes, to concede first is brutal. Sasha trying to sneak through the defence. Not quite able to do so now. Evan Ruiz, great spot tackle made on him by Ben Thomas, who saw it early. Aontatokuma Chunu. About 38 metres out wide. Sasha defending at 14. He doesn't know how. He always stay on the outside man. Another penalty. This time awarded to the Stormers. They are down by 5. And I think they'll have the quarter on the mind. Ulster have missed out on the additional 2. At this point in time, what a try from Zach Ward, says Jimbo. Really nicely done by Ulster. And it was just a solid step around Kyle Stain, who may not be 100% at the moment. Now Sasha, he will kick this one into touch. Trying to get them as close to that try line as physically possible here. So they're in a pretty good position at the moment. Oh no, they're checking for foul play. This might get something else happening. Are you covering Shark Zebra? That is the one game of the URC with severing sides that I think we're missing out this weekend. And way to go, Wales, says Ruth. And come on, boys, says Vanessa. And Cardiff leading this game isn't something we could foresee, says Xander. Yeah, although the Stormers, they are now in a good position to try and get something going straight away. It is going to be the rolling maul. JJ Coetzee waiting for the ball transfer, although getting right in there was Danny Southworth. He's actually stopped that one from going to the back, but he's dragged it down illegally. That's going to hurt him a little bit, and they may find themselves with another man in the bin. Backline movement. Sasha slings it on. This is dangerous. Damien Balimza offload on the inside to Lelion's ass. Couple missed tackles in a row from Cardiff. Now Ahmad Khan back across to the right-hand side. Good position on the field. Evan Rus. Oh, they've gone back again. And that was, I think, for a little knock-on in the breakdown. Initially, Andrew Brace calling it early. Does Danny Southworth get himself sent to the bin here? Okay, he's saying again, we need better discipline. And that is a fully factual statement at this point in time, because they have been leaking a few penalties from inside of their own 22. I think they'll go rolling maul again here, the Stormers, or they'll go scrum. Scrum might actually be the better choice because they were winning penalty advantages, or that's what they've done as well. They're relentless, the Stormers, when they get the chance on attack. They know that this Cardiff side have already been warned for penalties, warned for scrum, so they might as well try and drive towards that try line. Oh, there's a TMO check at the moment in the Glasgow Ulster game. But what I will quickly do, while we are at it, while we're waiting for the scrum, we're going to have a quick look at the overall standings. I'm going to take this down, and I'm actually going to start updating it a little bit. So the Stormers would receive 1 point at the moment. The Bulls, they aren't playing. Munster aren't playing. Cardiff would move up to 54, which would actually put them up into 5th at the moment. So we'll quickly go like that. And a penalty awarded again. But I think they made a mistake there, the Stormers. They actually ended up getting the penalty against them in that scenario. JJ Coetzee just a little bit too keen to get going there. He's not happy with the decision. Connacht are currently winning, aren't they? So Connacht, they move up to... This is hard work, actually, doing all the maths in the head. 53. Lions stay on 53. And currently, the way that it sits... Ulster would be on 50. Nah, I've broken it. I'm just going to undo everything that I was doing. We'll go, rather than the live table, we'll just go what the table was. That was hurting my brain big time there, trying to work that all out. So we'll go like that. Oh no, I've butchered it now. Okay, that's not going up for a while. I put like 5 teams in the wrong spot. Anyone mentioned South African Rugby Union may pull South African teams out of the Champions Cup? Not yet been mentioned, but yeah, it's interesting that is the case. But I guess that's just down to repeated failures in terms of the competition. They haven't made it into the quarterfinals for any of the sides, which is quite surprising for the Champions Cup. Challenge Cup, of course, the Sharks have won the whole thing. We have to get the ES 5-0 to Connacht so far. Don't bother, mate. We'll know tonight and tomorrow, says Flesh. And yeah, hopefully they show a live table at some stage soon as well, maybe at halftime. The ref's got the hump with the Stormers. Must be the highlighted green jerseys. Now ball's going in for Cardiff. And a big push from the Stormers, but the Cardiff side have got the possession yet again. Mulder going away now to was Tane Basham. Nice step there again. Hamish was about 5 seconds away from solving the theory of everything. Oh, ball stolen by the Stormers now around halfway. Ray Smith bounce past there to Andre. Oh no, in fact, it's Niddling for Share. Receives that one. It took 7 years to top Champions Cup teams to even win their first start. Why do you think our sides should be any different, says LB? Well, they shouldn't really. But the thing is, straight away, they haven't had the results and people were saying they shouldn't be taking part, which is a bit brutal. That's a brutal penalty going against Cardiff. I think that one was for a neck roll. But I think it comes down to the South African supporters expecting excellence. And when their sides don't deliver, they slightly, they haven't fully embrace the Champions or Challenge Cup at this stage. But with the schedule, you can kind of understand why. But it's the same for all these sides as well. So, they're taking on 3 points here, the Stormers. This is a little bit more of a safer mindset than we've seen throughout the rest of their season. Toulouse won their first start in its first year, says I Am Nutty. Did you change the format of the Champions Cup, says Sean? Why is Sasha going for goal? I don't know. I don't know what this choice is from the Stormers. I guess to get some form of points and get them back into the equation. Mulder just put a massive tackle on Machunu. Yeah. Mulder doesn't shy away from a bit of contact, and Mfatuka Machunu certainly doesn't either. But 30 minutes in, now Sasha Feinberg Zulu to take the kick. And he's got it over. So it adds the additional 3. That's the main thing if you're going for the 3s. Could you explain the reason why 4 All Blacks at risk of not making the cut? Depends on who those 4 All Blacks are. Because, whoever they are, I guess, depends on their reason why they might miss the cut. Practice is kicking, says Bruce. And come on, the Stormers, you must do it, boys. Bromwich, come on. Hands on team and think he made a point, says LB. Well, it depends, because you did say it took 7 years for the top Champions Cup teams to even win their first start. So, he did give you an example of someone who did, but you could also fire back by saying that's one side. There are many sides who are now at the top. Bordeaux, I don't know how many years it took them to win their first one, but they're now top of the world in terms of Champions Cup. Leinster have been right up there for a long time. And Sasha has Mr. Consistent, says Xander. One's going to be booted into touch by Cardiff. They are going more aggressive than the Stormers in this game, which is something I didn't think I'd be saying. But they know that they need at least 4 tries from this contest. They've already got themselves the 2. Like they've said, Stormers players just straighten off the feet. Liam Belcher now line out 10 metres out from the line. The last time they came here, Cardiff were able to score off a penalty advantage. Now Belcher, nice set play there from Cardiff. Bit of a counter ruck. Now Mulder going back across. Oh, big tackle on Sebastian, who got turned over. And it almost was a steal and a turnover in the breakdown for the Stormers. They win the penalty. Stormers look like they're struggling. I hear Munster interested in signing Lomax. And get a defence there, says Yanko. Easy kick, nothing in it. Tell you what, there's no easy kick at the moment in these type of games. There is pressure on every single time that boot hits the ball. And we're seeing guys missing a lot more. Oh, okay. Penalty against the Stormers here. There was a no-arms tackle from Sasha on the ground. He just pretty much put his hands down to take out the knees of Sebastian, which is why the tackle looked a little bit weird, how Sebastian went rolling over. Why is Mo'unga not eligible for the Greatest Rivalry Tour? Because he hasn't played any rugby in New Zealand. And that was one of the deals that came with his Japanese contract and, of course, with New Zealand rugby stipulations. But the confusing thing is how now it's become a story for Mo'unga. Because right when he signed for the Crusaders, that was general knowledge, which was that he wasn't going to be eligible until November, unless there was some sort of substantial injury, similar to what we saw for Leicester Whaiananuku. But yeah, he has to play in the NPC first to be able to regain eligibility for the All Blacks. But it's only recently been said that he's missing out, which is weird because it's been the case since the start. But now going off to the side, James Botham, they're only a couple metres short here. I think the Stormers may regret taking 3 points if the back line here functions. Now cutting back in, Bowen's going to be a hard man to drag down, but they've done it nicely. The Stormers, bit of a counter ruck. Mulder with a short pass into the hands of George Knott. Now pass back across. How would the Champions Cup and Challenge Cup look without South African teams? Probably quite similar. All it would be is they'd either add a few more sides or they'd have one less in each group. But either way, I guess quarterfinals, semi-finals, and finals would look the same because sadly we haven't seen a South African side get to the semi-finals as of yet, I don't believe. Or the quarters, actually. Now going off to the right-hand side, loose ball picked up by Cardiff. I think Similani was asking for the knock-on there. Referee does not oblige, but they're 2 metres out, Cardiff. Short ball and they're over. Cardiff has scored again. And the Stormers' tactics taken on the 3 has resulted in Danny Southworth saying, well, we'll raise you an extra 4. Okay, the Stormers, says Martin. Didn't Rennie overturn the eligibility? No. He'd like to, but he also isn't allowed to say too much about it. Hang on, there's a TMO check going here. Oh no, they're showing a clear knock-on. You remember when I said about Similani thinking there was the knock-on? I think they've found this one, and it's going to be no try. 1 away from the bonus point right now, 2 away. Due to that no try. Although I think they had penalty advantage at that stage. Should Cardiff have taken the 3? I don't think so. I think that was the right mindset. They just had a little handling error. Who was the referee? It is Andrew Brace in charge of this one. So, yeah, the TMO's comment was a clear knock-on here. That's not clear. Oh, it bounces into the Stormers player. So the ball did transfer backwards afterwards, but it did hit Similani first and then goes in a forward, or first went forward, then it went back. So, yeah, it's going to be no try in this case. They're just finding the right replay. Right, this is the angle that they want to show. It's a knock-on from Ben Thomas. TMO is $15 on the Stormers. Says Big Rig. Although he did also reverse a penalty that the Stormers won just before, though, the TMO. So, right, no try, knock-on, and it will be Stormers ball. No penalty advantage in play there for Cardiff. The score goes back to 12-10. Cardiff outplaying the Stormers here, says Xander. Well, it's just interesting. The fact that, Cardiff were, in some regards, half by ruled out of this game before it got underway, but they also need the points here. You could argue that they need the points more than the Stormers, because for Cardiff, if they lose this game, more than likely they'll miss out on the next stage, the quarterfinals. Stormers are guaranteed to be at home for their quarters, but their semi-final, that's the big question mark at the moment. There's an article mentioning that 4 players, Leroy Carter, Simon Parker, Billy Proctor, Finlay Christie, and didn't give the reason why. Okay, so just some great journalism then. I think that would be positionally. So they're saying Finlay Christie will miss out because he's probably regarded as 4th halfback. Leroy Carter was possibly going to miss out, but now that Tungi Tau's injured, he probably goes back into the equation. Parker may miss out because of, Devon Flanders was looking the goods, but now he's going overseas, so Parker might find himself back in there. And then Billy Proctor, I don't think should miss out at all. But, yeah, it depends on what they're thinking. That's a big scrum from the Stormers again, and they do get themselves the penalty. Just out from their own goal line. If Cardiff lose, are they out of the playoffs? Maybe. Depends on the result between Connacht and Edinburgh. Currently, Connacht are winning by 10. So currently, the way that it sits, if Cardiff lose this game, yes, they would miss out. But if Cardiff win and Connacht win, then Ulster, they're the ones on the chopping block. Currently, they are losing 5 points to 7. And then if Ulster win, then Lions and Munster, that game will be the playoff determiner. I'm 99% sure that he will play New Zealand. We'll get an injury before any game played in South Africa. Watch and see. We'll play New Zealand. Who's that, Bulls, that you're talking about? Now, line out here for JJ Kotsia around the halfway line. 5 minutes remain in this first half. It's going very quickly, but that is because of all of the technicalities that can happen for the URC standings. Now trying to get this one rolling in the right direction here, the Stormers. And it's doing quite nicely for now. Cardiff have to stay engaged in this maul or else they'll get themselves in a bit of trouble too. I like how Hamish's voice gradually gets more excited when he is thinking. Says Big Rig. I guess I didn't think during that statement, did I? I was quite monotone for that one. Now this one's still moving for the Stormers. They went about probably 20 metres or so with their rolling maul. Now Sasha looking to pierce that gap. Does so. He's got the men on the outside. And he's done very well to keep the ball in the field of play. Hudson Berg wasn't able to take it cleanly. The ball's still on the side of the Stormers as they look to get into this game that little bit more. Sasha, they are currently down by 2 points. He has been tackled early and a penalty against the Stormers for in off the feet in the breakdown. Another mistake. Number 9 straight off the feet. That is Ahmad Khan who jumped in. Carter and Proctor likely ABs. Christie doubt it. Parker tricky. Depends what style Rennie wants because the Lucies in New Zealand are absolutely owning Super Rugby Pacific. That is true. Yeah, we've seen a lot of boys going well I guess the slight benefit for Rennie is there's a few guys who have taken themselves out of the equation, making it a bit easier in terms of selection choices, but still some pretty handy guys. And we have there, does Ulster need to win today? Kind of. Like, Ulster, did they just score? No, not quite. They put the ball down in their own in-goal area, but it depends on bonus points as well. But if Connacht win, Cardiff and Ulster both need bonus points to stay within that top 8. And that's pretty much them versing each other. And to be fair, I would also tackle Sasha early. Better early than never, says on the right. Now, ball's there for Cardiff again. One's going to be kicked downfield towards the halfway line. Good chase being put in there from Tom Bowen. It seemed like a lot of guys were casually jogging. That's a great steal. And the breakdown again for Cardiff, who have managed to rip this ball back in their favour as they look to attack 40 metres out. Big contact between both them and Andre Smith. The crowd are not happy with it. They're saying it was a little bit high. Mulder going across to the right-hand side, the fly half. That's coming from Japan, says Bulls. Oh, Moonga. Oh, nice run from Mulder. Grubbers it in behind, but Sasha is back. And Ngumazulu, oh, that's a headstand for Feinberg. Ngumazulu there, that would have hurt the neck muscles. And concentrate and navigate Stormers. Cardiff is not playing to lose this game. Ulster are now 12-7. Are they? For me, they're still 7-5 down at this point in time. Oh no, to be fair, they have scored again, haven't they? Why no Japanese team in the Champions Cup? Because they aren't a part of the Euro. It's initially called the European Champions Cup. But of course, the South African sides are in, but that is because of them playing in Europe. If that makes sense. Right, shoulder to head contact. Andre Smith might be in trouble here. And if they lose a player now, the Stormers. I mentioned most stressful 2 hours of the URC this year. It's taking place right now with 3 games all happening simultaneously. Yeah, he's too high in the old race. But don't get me wrong, the bloke's tall, but he needs to go down a little bit more. I'm just now seeing that Zach Ward try. My coverage is quite far behind for the Ulster versus Glasgow game. They're just waiting to see all the angles for Andre Smith there. No competition. Super Rugby Pacific anymore. What do you mean? Like no competition as in like the competitiveness of the sides? Because surely you're not saying that, because they're currently 10 out of the 11 sides can still make the playoffs with 2 rounds to go. So if anything, you'd say it's more competitive than it's ever been. And was in Yanko Andre Smith. He is off the field for a yellow card and a bunker review. Now, I don't think this one's going to get upgraded, but it's certainly 10 minutes that he will be off the field for. Connacht to 12, Edinburgh 0. Hoping for a slap on the wrist and not a red card. Well, luckily, it seems like yellow. Referee had his yellow in his hand before he finished watching the replay. Why did Bulls let him go? Reminds me of Faf 2.0. That's old Daniel Thomas, isn't it? I can see the similarities, but now Cardiff again. They're going aggressive in this game. They are kicking for the corner any opportunity that they get. And that's normally what we see from the Stormers, but they've changed tactics in this game, and it may come back to bite them here. Of course, no matter what, they are confirmed as a home quarter final, but they definitely wanted that home semi in there too, and to do so, they would have to get a solid win here. Although, if Glasgow were to lose and Stormers got more bonus points from this game, that would put them in the equation too. And Nadine said, hi, welcome in. Nadine, hope you are doing well. Currently 6 metres out from the line for Cardiff. That ball's going to be dropped backwards. World Club Cup in 2028, correct? Yes. Now Mulder with the short ball to Danny Southworth. Now moving it on. Thomas, tackled by Evan Roos. Oh, that was dirty from Roos. He tried to slow it down on the ground, but he did pull out just in time before the referee was looking. It was just trying to give the defence a little bit more time to set. The last thing that they want, though, is another yellow card. That is very close to the line for Cardiff. About a metre out from being able to score their 3rd try of the contest. They need the bonus point from this game to feel a little bit more safe in this URC competition. Wide cut out pass. And now step there on the inside. Offloaded to Cam Winnett. One more on the outside. That's close to the try line. He was also close to touch, though. Owen Lloyd thinks that he scored it. Technically, you can't give less than a yellow for a head contact, says on the right. Cardiff pounding that turf towards the try line, says Ruth, and they may have scored here. Owen Lloyd is confident ladies and gentlemen, they believe it's a try. It sounds like the on-field's going to be tried, but they're just checking to see if he's in touch. But he obviously thinks he's got the ball down. That's the first step. But tell you what, I think Owen Lloyd has had his legs lifted just before the... Oh, it's that foot. It's that other foot. Whether or not that is on Lilian Zas or whether that is going to be down. I think he may have his legs grounded on top of Zas here. He's also just short initially, but then does get over initially, afterwards. You can stick with the on-fielder try, and Cardiff has scored right at the end of the first half. Scored the second try for the Stormers. Second try for the Stormers has not been scored yet. They have had the one try for Andre Smith, and then after that, they have not been able to score again. The other points came from a 3. That is now the third try of the match for Cardiff. Is that actually the score short videos? That's a bit crazy. 61-14. Did Bristol field a team in that game? Like, if they have multiple cards? Or... Oh, they've had 2 yellows. That makes a bit more sense. Yeah, they've been going for it, the old Northampton. I'm looking through at the try scorers list. It's quite long. That one's missed the way to the side, so that'll keep the score at 17-10 in favour of Cardiff. They're just showing a live standings. They've actually shown that multiple time on the Ulster game. They haven't shown it on this game as of yet, though. Hey, mate, says Clifford, welcome in. And Glasgow Scrummy makes a massive difference for their team, says Ben. What club do you support? I don't actually have a team, believe it or not. But thoroughly enjoy watching all these sides in action for the URC. And currently, it's a competitive old game. We've seen both sides have a yellow card. If Stormers lose this, I'm not supporting them. 2 bad weeks in a row, says LB. All right. But halftime in this contest, of course, there are still games around the corner for potentially both of these sides. The quarterfinals taking place in 2 weeks. Next week, both sides will have the week off, as we do get to see the Champions Cup final between Leinster and Bordeaux, the Challenge Cup final between Ulster and also Montpellier. Montpellier have got a few good players too. I was looking through at their squad the other day. Billy Vunipola is in there at the moment, but they seem to have gathered quite a few internationals from other sides that you wonder where they ended up. And yeah, they're mostly at Montpellier there. Progress in the top 14 probably shown from the squad that they've got to. Could Northampton get 100? They've got all the chance in the world to with the rate that they're scoring currently. And win or lose, Stormers my team, says Vanessa. And also, what's for breakfast? I don't actually know what's going to be on the cards yet. But something will have to be. I'm getting peckish. Glasgow 14 points to 12, says Birdie. Someone just said, what a comeback by Cardiff. They're acting like they just turned the Rugby World Cup final around, says Yanko. Although, to be fair to Cardiff, they conceded early. They were underdogs in this game, and they go into the halftime break leading by 7. So I feel like what a comeback is probably a fair statement for this Cardiff side. A team that a lot of people ruled out from the start of this game because of the fact that the Stormers were heavy favourites. Cardiff have played a much more tactical game plan. Cardiff had a yellow too, exactly right. They conceded in the try. They had the yellow card. They're doing well. Too much rugby to bounce between games right now. The last try was pretty handy, says Albert. Yeah, I normally find 2 games is easy enough. 3 games is impossible. I've got 2 games up at the moment with Glasgow Warriors versus Ulster being 14 points to 12 towards that halftime break, although Glasgow looking to score again here in the very near future. I'm one of the 16% who voted Cardiff in the poll. Says Big Rick. Given Cardiff is winning, are you open to eating Welsh rarebit for breakfast? What's Welsh rarebit? Can you call it a comeback in the first half? Stormers got the first try. Play bad from there on out. I'd still say you can. Like, the Stormers, don't get me wrong, they were their own worst enemy, but any points that you're down by that you then get into the lead, I consider as the start. It's the start of a comeback at least. Of course, full-time result could look very different. Tell you what, Glasgow have just got themselves the try between the posts with George Horn. That has come at a very crucial time. They are up by 7 with a kick to come now. Right, I'm going to try and do some maths. So technically, Stormers can still get a comeback from Cardiff's comeback. Exactly, yeah. And that's the beauty of rugby. The fact that the scoreline can change in an instant and a card can be the complete difference between a side winning and losing. So, ladies and gents, what we're going to do is we're going to go like this. There we go. That was the table at the start of the round, okay? So we're going to do some maths here. We're going to work on the theory that Glasgow are going to get that kick over, so they would move to 64 points in the overall standings. The Stormers are currently within 7, so they would move up to 60 points on the overall standings. It's the bottom groupings that are the problem. Connacht are winning, by the way, 19-0 at halftime, so there's no way they finish 9th at the moment the way that it sits. I think for now... Oh, no, my brain hurts again. I'm not going to do the maths. Because technically, it depends on Ulster. If they were to lose, getting a bonus point, they would still be last. Because of the win ratio. Munster have had more wins, so Munster would actually sit above them in the overall standings. 1 second, we'll go like this, and we'll go like that. How was that not in touch and short? It's the demo blind, asking for a friend, not a Stormer. If you guys, says Mike. Well, I think initially it looked like he was short, but then in the same motion, the ball did slide onto the line. In terms of why he wasn't in touch, there is a law in rugby, which is if you have your foot on top of a player who is in touch, you are not in touch. That's why sometimes you see guys grabbing limbs and whatnot and dragging them to put them down over the touchline when it's just in the middle of play. But the other foot was the question mark for me in terms of Owen Lloyd. But it seems like they found that foot was on Hudson-Berg, or sorry, on Lilian Zas, which is why it was regarded as a try. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. When's the second half going to start? You still got another about probably 10 minutes or so, Bruce, for the second half. Notice the crowd attendance in Super Rugby. Or notice the crowd attendance in games compared to Super Rugby. What about it? Like, as in like that it's a big crowd or that it's a smaller crowd? Because I feel like Super Rugby... it's probably not the best time to compare it because currently we're seeing quite a few games getting sold out from Super Rugby side of things. Definitely in Christchurch. They had 70,000 in attendance across 3 days of the Super Round. They had a sold out game for the Blues versus Crusaders. Crusaders versus Chiefs, and a week or so is already, I believe, sold out. So again, it depends on the side that you're looking at. And it depends on the attendance or the crowd capacity as well. We have got there Welsh rarebit as cheese mixed with beer and mustard and maybe oyster sauce melted on toast. Well, that doesn't sound like the greatest combo. Nothing against it. I'm sure it's very nice if you're into that sort of thing. Stormers not winning this game. Not saying Stormers aren't good enough, but based on overseas track record and form of this game. And Glasgow 21-12 at halftime, says Betty V. Ulster are going out, says Jimbo. And also Rumble in the Jungle, says Ruth. Right, I'm going to have another crack at working out this table, ladies and gents, because it's annoying me now. So currently, the way that it sits, Connacht are not in last. Ulster would be, with 51 points. Final answer. So we put them there, like that. Then from there, Munster would be in 8th. Because of the fact that they haven't played. So they go to 8th. The Lions would go to 6th. No. Yeah. The Lions would go to 6th because they've had more wins than Connacht. And Connacht would go to 53 points too. Boom. I think I've done the maths, ladies and gentlemen. It took every ounce of my brain power to work it out, but I think we're there now. I've just got to update the score lines at halftime. So Ulster, they are losing their game 12 points to 21, which is why they wouldn't they don't receive a bonus point from their game, actually. So they are currently on 50. Got there in the end. And then Connacht, they are winning 19-0. If they get one more try in their game, they will get the bonus point and move ahead of the Lions. That hopefully makes sense. Oh, it's lunch, don't judge on the ingredients, says Fleshin. That sounds disgusting, dude, says Mike. So I wouldn't look up as things stand. Might help your brain, says Sean. I would look up as things stand. And we have got there, we're having a nice big braai this Sunday. But yeah, do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, based off the live standings, are Ulster going to miss out? Or can they bring it back up against the Glasgow Warriors? We've got to remember, for Ulster now heading into that second half, they have to look at this and go, right, we need at least 2 bonus points from the game. So they need 2 more tries, and they need to lose by less than 7 if they are going to lose. I missed all that, Hamish. What does it mean for the Bulls? The Bulls currently, they are one of the only sides alongside Leinster who haven't been doing all of the chopping and changing for points. So currently Stormers on 60, getting a losing bonus point from this game. Leinster are on 58. The Bulls are on 54. Now, if Stormers get a losing bonus point, it means that the Bulls cannot overtake them. In which case, it is only Leinster who can book themselves the home semi-final. But if if the Bulls do get the bonus point win and the Stormers lose here by a big margin, the Bulls would go ahead of the Stormers in the standings. I look at the URC website, might help with the table. Have they got the updated one? I know that I was looking at their table before, and yeah, they haven't got it updated. It is just what it is sitting at before the round got underway. Hi, Hamish in chat says, hey, no, welcome in, Nano. You are doing very well. Great game so far. It certainly is. No way Glasgow lose from here. Now the Stormers must fight for securing second place. I also have been poor. Zach Ward moments is all I've had. Sears Big Rig. That was Jimbo. And yeah, that hurts when you've got one guy who's playing brilliantly and the rest of the side who haven't quite been able to find their full rhythm. And I do feel for Ulster because I don't think they thought they'd go as far in the Challenge Cup. Sounds harsh, but I think they half-by expected to have lost that competition by now so that they could fully focus on staying up in the URC top 8. But the Challenge Cup may be Ulster's downfall. Because of being in that competition, I feel like some players maybe have split emotions and split, I guess, just like focus, which could be hurting. Stormers are going to finish 4th. Says Hayno there. Oh, so you're saying that they're going to miss out in terms of any form of point from this game. And to be fair, it was weird seeing them go with the 3-pointer. Stormers need a proper 10. See, okay. Interesting, but I also do think you've got to remember that the Stormers are in second, probably, not mainly, of course, but for a good reason. You could argue because of what Sasha's been able to do from 10. You know, you look at the amount of games that have been close, that he's been able to have that big impact moment that's changed the game for the side. The amount of times that he's secured a bonus point for the Stormers team. To straight away, now that they're losing by 7 points up against a strong Welsh side, let's be honest, Cardiff are a good team. Because they're losing by 7, now you want to ditch their fly half just before playoff rugby, even though that's why they're in the playoffs and sitting where they are, because of the team cohesion that they have been able to put together so far. It looks like they're just having a chat with the referee here. This will be in regards to the yellow card. Will there be a knockout game on South African soil? Yes. There's about 3 games that could be taking place on South African soil if this game and the Lions game and the Bulls game will go the right way. The only side that could miss out on a home home quarter at this stage, actually no, the Bulls and the Lions can both miss out on that. There's a 40% chance that any rugby conversation turn into a debate about Sasha eventually. Says Big Rig. Right. This has to stay as a yellow card, doesn't it? Okay, it will stay as a yellow card. Sasha Magic to level the game. Sasha Feinberg, Zulu is the best 10 in South Africa, says Martin. Stormers will make the comeback. But it is kicked off. Second half. Live standings. The way that they are currently correct. Are you doing month to match tomorrow? Yes, we are going to be covering that one. That will be the last one of our URC weekend. But Johan Mulder from inside of the 22. And that is, of course, his own 22. This is where Cardiff had a lot of territory against them throughout the first 5 minutes of that game. If it was Sam Cane, would have been red. CS Studs race. One's going to be kicked downfield by Cardiff. Nice take from the Stormers just next to the sideline. When is the 7's taking place? 2 weeks' time. And now slap back. And now win it. Not able to take that one cleanly on the ground. The Stormers were close to being able to get themselves the ball stolen. Come on, Sasha Feinberg and the boys. Says Peter. 3 games on at the same time must be hurting your brain. It is big time. Definitely when I was trying to do the maths of the live standings. That really did take about as much of my brain power as I had. And maybe some extra if it's still wrong. But the ball's stolen by the Stormers. About 45 metres out from the line. They need their normal try scorers to really step up here. Sasha's been in good form for tries. Evan Ruiz the same. Out on the wing, Zas, Hudson Berg. The only man who scored at the moment for the Stormers is a lock, which is unfamiliar territory. How could Munster be playing? As it stands, says Connor, well, first they have to win their game, because if they don't win their game and a couple more results happen, Munster could be the side missing out on the top 8. Although Glasgow, oh no, that's just a replay of another try, I think. Now, nice take from Hartzenberger, at least slapping it back onto his team's side. Damien Valimza. We've got to remember the Stormers also playing with one less man on the field at the moment. Now another great steal in the breakdown from Daniel Thomas. Now stepping there, Cam Winnett. Oh, he almost snuck through a couple. And question time. Who is your favourite URC team and why is it Glasgow? Glasgow, they seem like they've come right at the right time. To be fair to them. Hope you are doing well, Kerr, as well. I have a bit of information for you as well. I'm glad that I've caught you. My parents are going to be in Scotland at some point in November for a few days. And they're going to potentially go to All Blacks versus Scotland. So they were wondering whether or not you're in town or whether you're way overseas. I'm now in Brest. Is that a good place to be? I'd assume it sounds like it's all right. 40 metres out from the line. Where is Brest? Walked into that one, didn't I? But what country is it in? Oh, we have got there. What do Stormers play if they win? Or who do Stormers play if they win? Still to be confirmed. And the mark is called by Cardiff inside of their 22. Belgium or France, says Ruth. It was 3 or 4 years ago, but 3 Irish sides in the URC and the Irish under-20s were against the English under-20s. We're all playing at the same time, says Hori. They also do it in the Gallagher Premiership. They have the final round all taking place at the exact same time, so it's kind of like a super round per se, where everyone gets their results at a very similar time. Cardiff, they need one more try to receive a bonus point from this contest. We have got there, I don't know if I'm home. I still need to work out my dates at home in November. But I'll keep you abreast of the situation. See what I did there? I think I caught on you. But yeah, they're considering going, because I think the tickets go on sale the end of the month, maybe. Brest in France, a few hours from La Rochelle. Well, hopefully it's nice and you're enjoying your time. You've ended up in a lot of countries this year already. We're only in May. Now rolling more, JJ Kutsia. This one shifting nicely for the Stormers. Untatuku Machunu has got it in the hands at the back of the maul. It looks like he should have broken off there, but he hangs on a little bit longer. They didn't gain any more metres. Away to the left-hand side now. Middle of the field. Here comes Jonathan Roach with the offload to Similani. This is the chance that the Stormers really... Oh, that's a good shot on Ahmad Khan, and it's knocked on. No, the penalty awarded to the Stormers. Right. Do you take 3 points here, or do you go to the corner? No, it's bad. It's at work, says Kerr. Can Munster still get a home quarter final? Technically, yes, I believe. But they'd need a big win. Oh, shot called. I don't think this is the right choice for the Stormers. And it actually looked like there was a bit of an argument there between Sacha and a couple of the forwards. That to me looked like the forwards were confused at the tactical choices from the Stormers here. On the offside. Going against Cardiff. And Stormers number 1 getting in space to run. I his arm man to take down. Yeah, he scored those 2 tries at the start of one of the games not too long ago, didn't he? But not a huge amount of running opportunity for the Stormers in general throughout this game. I will mention Glasgow and Ulster has got back underway. Currently, Glasgow lead that one by 9. And second half of Edinburgh Connacht is underway. Connacht leading that one by 19. Try time for the Stormers, says Martin. That one has gone over. That's the one benefit. They're getting the points from these 3-pointers. That is much better than taking the 3 and then missing. And we have got there how many metres. It was about 10 metres out from the line. Sasha getting an end of year's season bonus for kicking percentage, says Studs Race. Yeah, because that's something that in the first half, up until maybe that scrum penalty, that would be the only reason I can think of as to why they aren't going aggressive here. Because the Stormers need to also realise, if they score 4 tries from this game, that may be the difference between the Bulls overtaking them and missing out in terms of the home semi-final. Sasha Feinberg, the best rugby player in South Africa, says Martin. It's going to be kicked off long by Cardiff. Nicely taken inside of the 22 by Damien Valimza. Of course, this game is far from over. And anything can happen throughout the last 34 minutes. But this is going to be a brutal comparison. And I mean it in the most respectful way possible. There's something Shark-esque about the way that the Stormers are playing this match. There were times when the Sharks could have gone aggressive in the season and they chose not to. And I feel like that's a little bit similar here for the Stormers. That was the perfect position to go for it and to try and put the pressure on. Maybe because they had the yellow card, they were hesitant, but now it's given Cardiff an attacking chance inside of the Stormers' half while they still play with 14. Saturday Super Rugby tonight. Yes, says Reed, there is indeed. Now going away to the right-hand side, grubbering in behind for Cardiff, looking for the 50-22, and it's going to be close to the sideline, bouncing awkwardly. Valimza has to kick it in, a massive territory gain from Cardiff there. I mean, they are like the Sharks because they are losing. Not quite. Brutal. They should win their game this weekend up against Zebra, the Sharks, but the problem is their season's over already, unfortunately. Yeah, that is almost the equivalent of the 50-22 with the gain that Cardiff got from those kicks of Owen Lloyd. Andre Smith makes his way back out onto the field. He's had an eventful day for the Stormers. He scored the first and only try, and now he's returned from his 10 minutes off the field. Cardiff Wall, says Ruth there. 48 minutes gone in this game. It is going to go very quickly in the second half. Evening, everyone. Stormers can still turn this around. Absolutely, they're within 7. So there is more than enough time for them to be able to mount a bit of a comeback. Looks like a cut on the head of Ben Jason Dixon, almost up by the crown of the head. And hashtag leave the feathers on. What does that mean? Is that like a turkey thing or something like that? Or, oh no, I missed a few messages. That's why I was utterly confused at what that meant. But they are just strapping up the head of Ben Jason Dixon. They have gone with the 6-2 split here for the Stormers, which means Tennyson and Kiki Morabi can both make their way onto the field later on. And why they take 3 Stormers, I don't know. I think it was to just stay within cooey of the opposition, but I would have liked to see the aggressiveness whatever happened to the blood bin. It doesn't happen too often, does it? You kind of just keep on going up until, you know, if your shirt gets bloody, they normally make you go off the field and replace it. Although sometimes they just get you to replace it on the field. Now backline movement here for Cardiff. Out wide, it's going to be passed straight into touch, but they go back for the penalty advantage against the Stormers again. Is Sasha going to score in this game? It doesn't look likely just for now. He's had a couple decent runs. I love the ticker tape. It hurt my brain at halftime, Dimitrado. It was really difficult to work out how it was sitting. I don't think any results have changed currently, so we're all right for now. But yeah, as it progresses, we'll try and adjust it so that it is the live standings. And hopefully they'll be as accurate as possible. But currently, doesn't look good for Ulster. They are outside of the top 8, the way that it currently sits. And of course, they cannot go into the top 8 at the end of their game if they're outside of it. Looks like Cardiff, again, they aren't taking 3-pointers in this game. They're going aggressive. They want that bonus point try, and Liam Belcher gets thrown at the line by his teammates. Now away to the left, Daniel Thomas. Switch play there from Cardiff. Beautiful hands, and they score again. Aggression leads to points, and Cardiff now extend their lead to more than 7. Silly yellow cards, there's Ben. And as I wake up the Stormers, says Martin, but that is the 4th try. That is the bonus point now for Cardiff. What channel is the match on? For us here in New Zealand, it's on URC TV. Now, I will mention the live standings, the way that they sit. Cardiff are now ahead of the Bulls. We will update that as well. The Bulls are still on 54 points. But with that bonus point, and if Cardiff are victorious here, they will have a home semi-final depending on what happens in the Bulls game. Although the Bulls should be able to get themselves the win in that game. But Cardiff now have moved themselves up to 4th with that try. And we have got there, well. Sasha Feinberg took the 3, Cardiff take the 5. And that's actually happened twice in a row now. The Stormers take 3, Cardiff take 7. Or 5. 5 in this case. Because it's going to be a tough kick and Owen Lloyd has missed it away. But it is 22-13. Cardiff versus Stormers on S4C Premier Sports. As well, says Hori. What they're saying, just the determination of this Cardiff side to be able to go out here. The Stormers definitely need a new coaching setup. Says LB and 101 points scored in get like a premiership. They should change their coach also. Says Ben. And the Connacht game is on TG4 and Premier Sports 2. That one hasn't gone. The 10 from Sasha Feinberg and Zulu. The pressure now starting to hit the Stormers side again. That could be brutal here. Oh, yellow card for Ulster in their game. That will be brutal. Up against Glasgow. Check the Bristol game. Oh, I actually need to update this game as well. Stormers are no longer on 60 points. They would go down to 59, which would then mean that the Bulls can overtake them for a home semi-final. Because of the fact that they are no longer within 7 points. Just shows that one moment in these games can completely change everything. Oh no, Glasgow got the yellow card, my apologies. Ulster might be able to make the most of that now. But 51 minutes through, Kiki Morabi. He makes his way onto the field for De Villiers. Taken off relatively early in this contest. Hasn't had a massive impact so far. In terms of those turnovers in the breakdown, Stormers are being watched from all corners, which is good play from Cardiff. Stormers need a wake-up call and change of gameplay, as Cardiff obviously started Stormers play. Now, I know where to go now, says Vanessa. I had to leave for a bit. Looks like I didn't miss anything worth seeing, says Yanko. Yeah, currently Cardiff are once again looking to get this one going. They are up by the 9 points in a backline movement on the halfway line after the kick didn't go 10 off kickoff. And that's the type of rookie error that you cannot afford, although both sides have done it in this contest. Now Mulder, back across to the left-hand side. Tackle on Nilling for share around halfway. Mulder going now to, that's Kieran Azarati, so they have made a couple changes to Cardiff. That looked close to a 4 pass, and that was actually an upright tackle from Jonathan Roach. They might even check that one. A Glasgow yellow might become a red, says Jimbo. Yeah, which would certainly add a little bit of a late tail. I've just had the realisation. Let's say that red card happens and Ulster win. That would then mean that Glasgow lose. That would mean that if this game sits the way that it is, the Stormers would lose. And then if Leinster win up against Ospreys, they'd get home everything. Which is quite incredible how quickly, oh, nice run from Owen Lloyd, getting through the tackle attempt of Ahmad Khan and Evan Russ, but eventually dragged down. Now short side, numbers game here for Cardiff again. Beautiful backline, but they will be stopped. I've said beautiful a lot today, and I don't know why. I think it's just because of all the exciting rugby. Also very nervous for all of these 6 sides that are playing at the moment. Cross kick about to be done by Owen Lloyd. Goes for the grubber. Awkward bouncing ball for Damien Valimzo's cleaned the ball up there. That's a tackle off the ball from Sasha. 5 metres out from his own try line. He has tackled a man who wasn't in the breakdown, so the penalty awarded to Cardiff. And guess what? They will go aggressive here again. They will not even consider the chance of a 3-pointer. They will strike while the iron is hot. Side entry in the breakdown from Sasha. That Mulder guy sounds like he plays well. Oh, guys, I'm listening to the game. I don't have the TV screen gave in. Says, Vanessa, no, you are correct. Mulder's had a phenomenal game. And a kick for the corner here for Cardiff. We have you there. So a Welsh team is demolishing the supposed best South African team. Says Albert. And yeah, Cardiff, they are a side that always get underappreciated, I think, in terms of their ability. They either win a game by a lot or lose a game by a lot. And currently they're looking to win this game by a big statement kind of margin here. Liam Belcher about to throw this ball in. Look like a bit of confusion there. Sasha's had 0 positive impact tonight. And a bunch, effed a bunch of stuff up. Although he's got his kicks over. But that's not what's going to win them this game, the Stormers. They have gone too defensive-minded. And Cardiff, they've thrown caution to the wind. They knew they needed at least 1 bonus point, if not 2 from this game. And they have decided, you know what, we'll just take 5 points. That'll be easier than having to do the maths of who gets knocked out and who doesn't. Now drop ball there from Cardiff. It's gone backwards. Ben Thomas back up to his feet. Thought about the offload, but Ruiz takes him down. Now off to the right-hand side. Big collision there. About 10 metres out from the line. Thomas pops it up. Cardiff are not done and dusted as of yet, although the penalty to the Stormers, that was in off the feet from Cardiff that time. That looks like George Knott, the man penalised. And Dobson must go. Says Man, bad Sasha should be professional foul, yellow card. Says Ben. Morning, bro. Says NZ Unique. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well. Nice early morning start for us here in New Zealand. Next game taking place in around 8 hours' time. No, 8.5 hours' time. A little while till that game between Fiji and Roy and the Waratahs. One's going into touch from the Stormers. They just need some attack here. Still 25 minutes for Sasha to show up. Plenty of time for him, says Dazos. Yeah, he's one of those players that even when he has some poor moments, one big break of the line could change this game in terms of his whole confidence. Dobson out, says LB. So I guess what happens if they win the competition, LB? Do you still sack the coach? Or do you go, oh, well, like, don't get me wrong, you've disagreed with the coach a few times, but if they're champions, then surely that's worth something, isn't it? And Dobson out. And I was aware there, who is Pollock? He is playing in the Gallia Premiership at the moment. And I can't wait to see the first time Pollock gets to play South Africa. He will learn the difference between a something and a something. Says Yanko. I say it every week, and I'll say it again. It's incredible how much he has impacted people's lives in terms of the rugby world. Like, people have a pure hatred for him that I think normally gets built up over about 10 years. You know, certain players have to work their whole career to become as hated as Henry Pollock has. But then he's also loved by many. So it's a bit of an interesting scenario. But yeah, he definitely rattles people, which is quite impressive for a young player who's only been on the scene for a couple of years. Big run from Lelion's ass, running up the middle of the field. He had Amar Khan. He tries to bump off the defenders. Goes now to Khan. Looked like he was trying to do a bit too much himself there, Zas, though, rather than linking up with his teammates. Sack Dobson regardless. Okay, so have him win a title and then sack the coach. Makes a lot of sense, really. Now going off to the side, Ahmad Khan off to Ntatuko Machunu, who offloads to JJ Kutsi. They're 5 metres out from the line now. This is where Ruiz can be dangerous, but Ahmad Khan didn't give the ball off. Ruiz now with a pick and go. Goes off to Salman Murat. He will be just short. Ruiz thought about the pick and go, but it's going to be Ntatuko Machunu. Dragged down short again. And the penalty to Cardiff. That is brutal. No arms clear out from Ardre Smith in the breakdown. The referee has read up on his laws today. He's found a lot of ones in the breakdown that we don't normally see awarded. We have got there, Dobson is making his name. It's only you that worry about Henry Pollock. It really isn't. You look online and everyone's talking about him. I kind of want England to beat South Africa and Pollock to score 2 tries solely to cause the decades of angry rage bait it would cause. And we have got there, Wales Rugby might need to consider using these players the next time they play Springboks, says Clifford. And Henry Pollock is the Terminator, the new Terminator, Northampton Saints, says Ruth. And go the Stormers, go, says Julian. And penalties heard in the Stormers, says Xander there too. Yeah, that was just a rough clean out from Ardre Smith. Probably lucky to just be a penalty too. With the way that he's led into that breakdown, a grounded opponent. Impacting people's lives is a bit strong. He's divisive. But plenty of young guys are. You don't need to be experienced to be unpopular. But yeah, like I was saying, normally it takes guys decades, or not decades, but years to get to that stage of being hated. But some people's whole personalities now is hating Henry Pollock in the rugby world. All you got to do is go on any social media, and a game taking place between Bordeaux and Leinster will have talk of Pollock on the comments for some reason. I don't think you could use your arms in the breakdown. Says, yeah, well, you got to slightly try and wrap. So he's pretty much just led him with his shoulder and hit the guy on the ground. Apart from the movie, I don't know the meaning of Terminator. Says Clifford. Now, Belch is done for the day. He will be taken from the field. A great performance from the Cardiff captain after getting the yellow card early on. It's idiots that think Henry Pollock is a good player, says Martin. I mean, there's no denying he's a good player. But I think that, yeah, it's the comparisons that he gets with other people that really peeve people off, it seems. Now, rolling this one back, Johan Mulder. Going to be going for the box kick again. Now, nice take there from Zas under the high ball. He's coming to his own throughout the second half, but a knock on the ground from the Stormers. Oh, it doesn't mean I'll be back after my HIA and blood replacement, says Youngco. Maybe. I think it's something to do with just continuously coming back, rising from getting knocked down. Who's Hugh James? That must be the sponsor of Cardiff. That also sounds like a guy who could be in this Cardiff side. Hugh Jones playing for Glasgow at the moment. I think he might be injured, Hugh Jones. Pollock is brilliant at being an a-hole and irritating the opponent, says Albert. And also, what did I miss in the second half besides the score? Not much, to be honest. This game's kind of hit a bit of a halt while Cardiff regroup and get ready to get another attack going. A bit like Ivan Rus. Though, to be honest, Pollock is better at it, says Youngco. Yeah, 22 minutes left. Glasgow Ulster still 21-12. Connor Edinburgh still 19-0. So this is the only game that's had points in the second half, and it was Cardiff who scored them. And every other game is sitting the same. Penalty to the Stormers at scrum time. Please tell me they're not going to take the 3 now. What were the odds before kickoff? Stormers $1.30 favourites, and then $3.50-ish underdogs. Good things, Khaleesi will be back at the Stormers next year. We need leadership, says LB. So who are you putting him in the starting lineup for? In terms of Sia Khaleesi, are you taking De Villiers out? Are you using him more as an impact player? So the one thing that the Stormers I didn't think needed was more loose forwards, but like you said, that kind of experience side of things might be why that signing took place. Now, line out here for the Stormers again. 59 minutes through this game. If the Stormers score, they will get themselves back into the bonus point contention, which would mean that the Bulls cannot catch them. That would mean at worst they can finish third in the overall standings rather than fourth. In fact, yeah, that's correct. Slap in the back there, JJ Kutsia. Trying to get a few Cardiff players out of that rolling maul situation. A 1-1 in the Premier League between Aston and Liverpool. You can never have enough loose forwards, just ask the Bulls. Says Albert, big run from Ntuthuko Machunu. Now, Evan Ruiz, 2-man tackle on him. I don't think they've used him enough 5 metres out from the line. He's normally so good at finding a gap. Sasha driven down low. And a brilliant spot tackle from Mulder. Ahmad Khan going away to the right-hand side, and it's a big knock-on. Or no, he managed to just regather in time. They have said the crowd are not happy about it, as they did have one go against them in the first half for something similar now. Right-hand side, Similani with the offload to Evan Ruiz. Couldn't quite get the pass on the outside. Don't rate Khaleesi except when he plays for the Box. Reality check, if the Stormers don't score now, they will lose. Cardiff is going to, or definitely giving them a run for the moolah. Come on, the boys, Cape Town is supporting you. Now, Ahmad Khan up to Sazi Sandi. He's made his way on. I also do see, is that just Kiki Morabi? Yes, it is. I don't think Marcel Tennyson has come onto the field as of yet for the Stormers. Now, Ahmad Khan going right. They actually had numbers to the left here, and that may be, oh no, that's Tennyson there. Yeah, it is Marcel Tennyson. So Evan Ruiz is going to be playing the 80 in this game, ladies and gents, unless, of course, some sort of injury does end up hitting. Mulder could defend in the centres. Says Studs Rays here. He's had a phenomenal game. Still 19-point advantage to Connacht. They need that one more try if they do want to move up with an extra bonus point. But, of course, just a win would be massive for them. JJ Kutsia now. Cardiff told to get out of the breakdown. Ahmad Khan going back right once more. Who's it going to be for the Stormers that cuts this game open? Although Cardiff on the ball, and Cardiff get the steal. That is again Daniel Thomas, who gets the crucial turnover 5 metres out from his own line. The lack of ball for the Stormers. Seems like maybe the forwards are just taking it a little bit slower in these breakdowns now. It means that Cardiff can clear their lines. Ahmad Khan, what he says when he knocks on the ball. And sun is out now. It's just raining 10 minutes ago, says Clifford. That one's kicked downfield. Damien Valimza nicely taken, has Zus with him, doesn't pass it. Instead, we'll take it to ground, get it reset for the Stormers. Someone boot has gone flying. I'm not sure who's as of yet. A good run from Marcel Tennyson. 62 minutes in. Ahmad Khan across to Sasha Fainberg. Zulu can't quite break through Cardiff's defence. You do have to release him though, trying to turn it into a rolling maul with Cardiff. Ahmad Khan, short ball straight into the hands of the Cardiff lock. And George Knott. Stormers need to stop giving away possession all the time. They're making it far too easy, says Yanko. Yeah, this has been the least secure with the ball in hand I think we've seen for a long time for the Stormers, which is a massive concern. And Edinburgh nil, Connacht 24. So Connacht have scored again. And that now gives them the bonus point. 1 second. Where are they? They now go ahead of the Lions in the standings, ladies and gentlemen. Connacht will go to 6th with 54. And the Lions, they will stay, or they will go down 1. They will be into 6th. Oh no, 7th in fact on the standings. That Munster-Lions game becomes much more crucial depending on how Ulster-Glasgow ends. Ulster need 2 bonus points from the match though to make it more of a thrilling finish. Now, nice take from Cardiff again under the high ball. They've said there that at this location this year, Cardiff have lost very few games. Looking to do it again. Yuri Matia. He's going to be making his way off at the bench. At some stage, we need a big score, says Avril. What channel is the game on? I think in South Africa, it's normally on about 2:11, isn't it? Or somewhere around there. Hello, says Thomas. Welcome in. What's wrong with the number 20 Stormers player? So that is Tennyson. That's another knock on. Or a drop ball anyway from Cardiff. From the Stormers. But it is going to be called as an unplayable. And Stormers will get possession. And Ulster just got a try, so it does make it a little bit more interesting there. Ulster would get a bonus point in that case. 1 second, we'll go like this. And we'll go like this. We are updating as we go, ladies and gents. Ulster have 1 less win than Munster, so even with that bonus point, that doesn't do enough for them. They need 2 bonus points from their game. That was the Sharks' current main scrum half, because I seriously think Khan might be the worst of the South African teams. There's nothing on Ambrose or Krappies, that's for sure. So Sharks starting is normally Hendrickse, and then they've also got Bradley Davids and Grant Williams. I think they're their main 3. And then also, there's the 4th fella as well. I can't think of his name. But Grant Williams has been out with injuries, I believe, which is why he's not there. And they missed the kick, says Hori. So, yeah, currently 17 points to 21 in that game. It is going to be the scrum feed now for the Stormers with 16 minutes remaining. They're going to need something to happen, and they're going to need it to happen soon. Hello, Hamish. Says Byron, welcome in. I'm shocked Connacht is keeping Stormers out. Wait, Connacht or Cardiff? Not a massive fan of Hendrickse, but Grant Williams is pure class. Stormers are defo the weakest in the 9 department then. Well, without Cobus Reinach in there, I think it does hurt them. Like, Reinach's experience does help out quite a bit, and also he's just a very skillful individual, of course, but yeah, not having him in these games, I think, is hurt badly. Williams playing. Oh, has he gone overseas from the Sharks? I didn't even realise. Now advantage at scrum time here for the Stormers. Backline movement, Sasha Fainberg, Ngume Zulu. Going out to Damien Valimza. Couldn't get the offload away again. Do you rate Ahmad Khan? Not too highly. I think there are better options, but currently for the Stormers, I think I'd go Nkura just because of his form this season. They went with a bit of a risk going, Khan, but I feel like sometimes that risk pays off. Or do not mean, says Byron. And they need a far better backup than Khan, says Yanko. And come on now, the Stormers. So here's Mary, and they have got the position. They have also now just received the penalty. Going side to side, says Andrew Brace, so they weren't making enough metres for his liking. Go on, the Stormers, says Martin, try for Ulster. Is that another try or the original try that they scored just before? Oh, sorry, I haven't been updating the score lines, have I? That's the slight problem. Hang on. So Cardiff, 1 second, we'll go like this. Cardiff currently are leading this game 22-13. I forgot that the score lines are going along the bottom. And yeah, Ulster are on 17 points currently. There we go. I think those are the live score lines. The way that it sits currently. Another change here. Jennings will go off, and that is going to be for Emmanuel. I agree with Reinach's experience, and that is what is lacking, experience, time to bring on changes. Says Vanessa, Lions 7th, Munster 8th in the table. Yeah, they have dropped down a little bit. Ulster still in 9th. Even though they're on 51 points, they would need another bonus point, which I believe they can receive from scoring one more try. And that would then mean that Munster are the team on the chopping block, up against the Lions. Game taking place in less than 24 hours' time. Now, it wouldn't be ideal for Munster, but it would be kind of nice to see those games mad. Another penalty goes to Cardiff, tackling the man in the air for the Stormers. Cardiff now starting to feel it that little bit more. They've already got the bonus point from this game. They have done the maximum that they can. And currently the way that it sits, they are sitting with that home quarterfinal. But, of course, the Bulls are the team that can definitely change that. All they would need is a couple points from their game up against Benetton. In fact, they'd only need one. Is there 6 wearing a Ferrari scrum cap? And, well, this game stolen line out and penalty. See, it's studs raised there as well. And, yeah, currently only 12 and a half minutes remaining. This has been far from the Stormers' best here. They have only scored once throughout the first 67 minutes for a side that have the best differential in the whole of the competition. As we can see here, this is the way that it's at. 166 points in their favour. But with a loss like this, they would go down to that 155-ish, I think they'd be on. Which is still, I mean, it's still the best at this point in time. Nice run from Cardiff, though. It looked like they are not done and dusted when it comes to the scoring department. Ben Thomas with a flat ball to his teammate on his side. Johan Mulder off to the right. Now moving it on. Nice hands, although that one's going to be dropped there. That one has gone into touch. 1 second. And like that. Just making sure that my table is correct. I think it is. Currently, and Stormers' loss means they lose out on home playoffs. Not completely. But a loss here for the Stormers without a bonus point would mean that they can theoretically finish as low as 4th, which would mean that they lose their home semi-final in that case. But for that to happen, the Bulls would need a bonus point victory over Benetton. And again, the Stormers would be needing to not get a bonus point from this game. Plus, Glasgow would still have to beat Ulster, and Leinster would have to win their game up against the Ospreys. Now back across to the right. Skip pass. It was forward from Cameron Winnett. And it does now mean that the Stormers will have the scrum around the halfway line. No deliberate knock on. They're 14 F that up on his own. So here's Yanko. But yeah, currently the way that it sits, the Stormers are sitting in 2nd. As Leinster have not played and the Bulls have not played. Those games taking place tomorrow. We will also be covering a couple of the games tomorrow. Bulls versus Benetton included. 11 minutes now. This is where the crucial moments will happen for the Stormers team. If they are to lose this game, they still need that one extra point to take away the Bulls' chance of stealing the semi-final from them. Because it could end up being Bulls versus Stormers at Loftus rather than in Cape Town is the potential chance. I hope the Stormers win, but Cardiff need to win. Stormers need a new coach, says Martin. And of course, if the Stormers come back to win this game, that changes everything again because Cardiff would then only be on 52 points rather than 55. And then a lot of sides can still theoretically catch them. Sasha, Now looking for the gap, hasn't been able to find it too often throughout this game, although that has been the same with all of the Stormers. Stephen Nkuri has made his way onto the field. That is a poor pass from the Stormers. Now going forward with it. Reality checkers again, sorry boys, but Cardiff showing you some gameplay here. Time for you to re-strategize, reform, and get more serious to win. You guys are taken for breakfast. Miss Marnie Libok says, Mullet, and apologies for my language tonight. South Africa team's playing poorly. It's not the Friday night I was hoping for. Just we don't have any young children watching, says Yanko. There might be a couple, but I think they just miss the swear words. I normally sense them from saying them, like as in me saying them, but I don't think I can control what you guys say completely. At time, 66 minutes in Connacht game and 65 minutes in the Ulster game. Yeah, so this game's actually going to be finished first. And more than likely what we will do is we'll hang around because, of course, there are other results that can take place. Could they still come back? Absolutely. 9 points difference. Coaches fine, players need to shake up. See here's Vanessa. Stormers bad tonight. See here's Jenna. Tame Basham will make his way off. Lawrence also coming on for not. Got to remember, this is also a retirement match from Cardiff for Lee Halfpenny as well, ladies and gents. I don't think he's had a lot of game time yet. And we have got there, he just got suspended, a pay cut for foul language at the refs. See here's Big Rick. And also we have it there in Cardiff from Ruth. Right, 10 minutes remain here. And it is all on. 9 points separating these two sides. The only game that's dead and buried is Cardiff versus Edinburgh. Cardiff winning that game 26-0, and they have booked themselves a spot through to the quarterfinals. Marnie is being gone the whole year. Don't miss him, says Martin. If I was, I could probably afford enough brandy not to care as much, says Yanko. The ref has been terrible in this whole tournament, so inconsistent. Oh, sorry, the refs have been terrible the whole tournament, so inconsistent. You can tell it's organised by Irish Rugby Union. Says Mullet. Well, yeah, there's too many laws. I say it each and every time. No referee is going to have a perfect game because of how intricate and technical the laws are. Like Andrew Brace in this game, for instance, he's been pulling up teams for certain laws that haven't been called throughout the rest of this competition. You know, the likes of the no arms clean out and a breakdown, that very rarely gets called. We saw the one earlier on as well in terms of a couple of I think it was the side entry ones and whatnot, that haven't been as heavily enforced. We've seen, there was one other as well. I can't think of it off the top of my head though. People can say what they want. Marnie Libok bring flair to the Stormers game, and refs have been strict in this game. But it's for both sides, yeah. Yeah, both sides have had to be very disciplined, or at least try to be a bit more disciplined. Whose ball it is going to be? Cardiff's ball here. They are just outside of the 22. Oh no, just a little bit further down. 100% the referees aren't bad. Just overcomplicated the game with the laws. Yeah. Like, there's so many things that the referees have to look out for. And there are many breakdowns, like that you see something happen that could easily be a penalty. But the referees, there's also that trying to manage it and make it so that the game flows and isn't so stop-start. But yeah, it's a terrible job to have because it's a thankless one. You could have a very good game and both sides could hate you for it. Try Ulster, says Jimbo. Yeah, they have just got themselves another one, the Ulstermen. That now puts them outside of the bottom spot, ladies and gentlemen. Munster, they were sitting 5th at the start of these games. They'll be sitting there at home going, we're just dropping further and further. They are now going to be 9th with the way that it sits currently, which is a little bit brutal. So what we're going to have to do is now, we're going to have to move a couple sides, aren't we? So Ulster are going to go here. Munster are in last. Ulster were on 51. That's their bonus point try. So they would move up to 54, which I think would put them up to 6th. At this stage. So they would move to 54. 1 second. We're doing all the maths on the fly, ladies and gentlemen. Connacht would move to 7th. We would see Lions move to 8th. And all of a sudden, Munster versus Lions, if the results all go this way, Lions-Munster's now a playoff game at Thorntman Park, if these games all end the way that they are, which is insane, because, again, it seems like the Lions might be that side that just narrowly miss out at the final moment after such a brilliant season from the boys. As Stormers have had multiple opportunities to score and take threes, drop the ball, forward pass has been beaten at the ruck. At least the rest of TMO and rugby aren't corrupt, like the English football. Now going off to the right-hand side here for the Stormers. They are in position 6 metres out. Well, sorry, not 6 metres out. Well, actually, no, I will go 6 metres out from their own 22 with 6 minutes remaining. Munster is 9th currently. They certainly are with 51 points. Oh, no, I've got Munster twice. Hang on, I'm going to change that. I got to change Munster. How did I end up with 2 Munsters in 9th? There we go. We'll remove that one. There we go. They're talking about Evan Ruiz, the league's top try scorer. He needs another one here. If his side want the bonus point, nice run from Yuri Matia. Moves them up to halfway. 5th Ulster, 7th Lions, 8th Munster, says Sean. I think because of wins, Ulster are below the Bulls. Because if they have one less win as a whole, where are they? Ulster have had 9 wins. The Bulls have had 11. So the Bulls stay above them on the wins technicality. Now across Sandy. Goes to Willems, a terrible pass, but Sasha's done beautifully to control it off his foot and then pop it up now offloaded to Sandy again. Yeah, in English football, they don't show the refs looking at the VAR. They just tell you the call. Super shady and corrupt, says Big Rick. 9 points between these two sides left. Now Simalani. Bonus point, again, will be the difference between the Stormers getting the home semi-final and missing out here. How many metres, says Mujahideen? Well, actually, technically, they could still not have a home semi-final if Leinster were to win. But Glasgow currently do sit with just the 1 bonus point from their game. So I actually need to change their points on the standings as well. As they are no longer on 64, they go down to 61. Here we go. Forever changing throughout these 3 games. It's kind of annoying that they're all taking place at the same time because they all have such a big impact on the overall outcome of the season. Ball's still there for the Stormers. 4 minutes remaining. Short ball to Marcel Tennyson. Good 2-man tackle on him by Cardiff, who have defended well throughout this whole contest. The last thing that they can afford to do is let it slip now. That was a high shot on Damien Willems and the penalty awarded to the Stormers. Do you take 3 points? Do you get within 7 here for the Stormers? That's a decision that now they have to make, and they've kind of avoided going aggressive throughout the rest of the game. They haven't avoided the aggression here, though. They have already kicked it into touch. Cardiff's defence is going great, and thank you for your commentary. My team didn't win. We will still support them from the Cape Storms. They better pull up their stockings. Vast Stormers. Hey, I bet it in tonight. And as I say, that high tackle, says Studs Race. Your line-out throw now for JJ Kutsia. Ulster are leading in their game up against Glasgow, 22 points to 21. Munster are now on the chopping block alongside the Lions if the games all end the way that they are here. How many Stormers supporters are going to be painful, says Dakalot. Now line out for Kutsia. Nice take at line out time. Kutsia joining the back. No, in fact, he's not going to join the back of the rolling maul. It looks like Nedling Fouchier. No, it wouldn't be Fouchier, actually. It would be that man at the back. Might be the replacement, Ollie Kibble, who did have that ball. It's dragged down, and Cardiff have managed to defend again inside of the 22. I think this is the best Cardiff defence inside of 22 that we have seen throughout this whole year. They have been brilliant in terms of getting those steals at the right time and now holding up the rolling maul of the Stormers. That ball needed to get out earlier. And Ulster 22, Edinburgh 21, and Cardiff 26, Edinburgh 5. It might not be allowed, says Hori there. They must have advantage knowing what they need. True. And they're also at home, which is a big bonus for them. But of course, if Glasgow score now, they take away Ulster's extra points. Although no matter what from that game, it looks like Ulster will get 2 points from it, but they have 1 less win than Munster. So, although Munster would still need to get within 7, wouldn't they? Or score 4 tries. How many tries? If Cardiff blocked all game, Stormers could be on 35. At least, yeah. Cardiff have had about 3 or 4 penalties that they've won 5 metres out from their own try line or less. But the change now, Cameron Winnett He will make his way off. This is a big moment for Lee Halfpenny here. The last game at Cardiff, I believe the last game for that man before he hangs up all of his rugby boots for what has been a very impressive career. But now it could be a win. What is the time? 78 minutes through in this contest. Yeah, the try is there for Edinburgh. It won't change too much in the overall standings, which is nice. It means that I just have to change their points. Here we go. We'll go like that, and we go like that as well. Just showing Lee Halfpenny's family. Watching on with 2 minutes remaining. Cardiff's ball. Oh, bit of an early push there from both front rows. Andrew Brace is going to say, no, we're doing that again. Don't stand up, control the weight. The comment from Andrew Brace. Just the 2 minutes. It feels like the second half with only the 7 points that have been scored from it. It's taken a little while to get to where we are now. And Netso, congratulations, Cardiff. Great show, says Vanessa. And yeah, of course, we are going to be here all throughout tomorrow night as well with the URC future results. And like I said, if all the games that are happening throughout this match or today occur the way that they have, it means that Leinster have a chance of taking number 1 spot. It means that Lions and Munster becomes a playoff. And there's also still a lot of movement that can happen on that final day. Kicked in a touch by Cardiff, which means last attack of the day. If the Stormers are successful in this line-out, will go their way. And 75 in the other 2 games. Stormers won't see the semi-finals, says Tron. Well, they'll see an away semi-final more than likely with a result like this. And once again, the difference between the Stormers getting above the Bulls and missing out is this next minute. Do they get a try here and get themselves in the position? Of course, the Bulls still have to beat Benetton with a bonus point, but you'd like to think they'd have a decent chance of doing so with Benetton's away form. I see taking in the line out there. I think they're asking for the penalty advantage, and they have now got it, the Stormers. It would make sense. 2 South African teams to spend the season in Europe for the URC. Right, they go back for the penalty now, 15 metres in from the sideline. That was for the early engagement and dragging down the arm. What's your rating for the Stormers' performance tonight? 4 out of 10. I think 4 is generous. I think their tactics today have been a 2 out of 10. I don't know why they started kicking for the 3s, but all it did was stop that aggressive, normal mindset that we see from a Stormers side. Normally, by this stage, Stormers would be disappointed to not have 25, 30 points on the board. But from this one, they went defensive. They went into their shell, and it may have cost them a little bit. Try Glasgow, yeah, that's going to hurt them a little bit. And that is Ulster being hurt by it, I should say. Nice take there at line-out time. Can they get the last try of the contest, the Stormers? To make it so that the Bulls cannot catch them, and at worst, it would mean that the Stormers finish 3rd in the standings. Now rolling forward. Stephen Nkura. Still moving slightly. Cardiff almost able to stop it again. Offload up to Sasha. Another penalty advantage here. So they'll probably take 3 here, the Stormers, if they don't score this try, because that would put them within the 7, and that would be the bonus point gifted at the end of this game. Stephen Nkura going away to the right-hand side. Yuri Matia, the big wide cutout pass. Hudson Berg, he has Ruiz with him. He doesn't use him, and he gets driven into that right. Penalty to the Stormers. I think they will take the 3. Well, attendance roughly fair. Oh, yellow card as well. What's the time? Does it end at 80? It does, but we're at 81. So Cardiff will go down to 14. The Stormers, I hope they have the game awareness here to know that 3 points would get them their bonus. Yes, it would be accepting the defeat, but it would give them the extra point too. Right, they're calling for the posts. And this is a smart play at the end of the day. This is where you get the bonus point and it takes the Bulls out of the equation. Home semi still not on the card, and FFS, they are taking the 3. The thing is, though, this is the only time in this game that taking the 3 has made sense. When you think about it, this is the perfect time to take the 3. You can't beat them with a try. And Sasha's kicked that one over. Cardiff will get themselves the victory at the end of this game at 22 points to 16. So, With that being said, the Stormers, they will finish up with 60 points in the overall standings of the URC. Cardiff get themselves the bonus point victory. They are up to 5th in the standings, into 4th currently, the way that it sits. The Stormers will lose this game by the 6. And now we've got a couple more games that still have to finish up, ladies and gentlemen. One second, we'll go like that. And we'll go like that as well. We'll try and load them both up. And ball plan, game plan from the Stormers, not the South African way, would be to take the line out. Lucky Stormers, so pathetic and bad. But still get second place on the logs. He's been 3rd at the moment. Second with the potential of going down to 3rd. I think they're finishing 3rd, to be honest with you. I know that that's a little bit harsh, but in reality, Leinster, I don't see a way that they don't receive 2 bonus points from their game up against the Ospreys. Unless something drastic happens, which it could. At the end of the day, things can change. Right, Ulster-Glasgow is the only game that's really the firm focus at the moment. And Glasgow currently with 3 minutes remaining are leading 26-22. So we'll go like this. And we'll go like that. Currently, Ulster, with the fact that they are down, they would move down to 52 points, I believe. So what we'll quickly do is we'll grab them. Connacht would move up to 6th. The kick is missed from George Horn as well, I should mention, ladies and gents. Lions in there. So the Lions would now be 7th. Ulster would now be 8th. And the overall standings, still above. And we'll go like that. And like that. Right, this is the live standings, ladies and gentlemen, just as it sits currently. Hang on, no it's not. We've got to give Glasgow 3 more points. This is the live standings now as it sits. Adoza needs to retire to school coaching. He's lost the plot. Can't get the best out of the players anymore. So here's Albion, awesome stream, mate. So here's Birdie, thank you very much. And well done, Cardiff. Not a fan, but it's nice to prove people wrong. And we have got there Edinburgh 5, Connacht 26 full time. Yeah, so that game's not changing. Mohadeen, I would still love you if you're a worm, says Yanko. And can you answer my question? What was your question? I didn't see your question. Do Stormers get a quarterfinal at home? Yes, they're guaranteed a home quarterfinal. Oh, sorry, Glasgow would be on 65 points. The way that it currently sits. Stormers, then Cardiff on 55. Okay, I think I've got the live standings correct now, by the looks of it. But Ulster are hanging on by a thread here. And for them, they need to get the bonus point here. So they need to win and get themselves the full 5 to be safe. If they don't score now in the last 90 seconds, I don't know. I think Munster get a bonus point, and because of Munster having more wins than Ulster, means that they would go through. Now, backline movement, Michael Lowry with the possession in hand. Nathan Doak, he came off the bench in this game for Ulster by the looks of it, with the number 21 on his back. Angus Bell tackled in the middle of the field. I'll be honest, I don't even know who's on the field in terms of the lineups and whatnot. I'm just pretty much going off what I know in terms of players. Michael Lowry running down the wing, getting driven towards the sideline, very close to it. The ball kicked around a little bit. Doak manages to control. 40 metres out from the line here for Ulster. A try would win them this game. Did Halfpenny even do anything? No, but they brought him on as a bit of a milestone special for him. So, like, at the end of the day, he's come on the field and he's got to witness what was a massive win for his side in the last match for them. Now running it out wide, Cormac is a Chuck Woo. Moves into the 22. He's getting a little bit closer to 10 metres out from the line. It's almost going to be a penalty advantage. No, Cole Stain gets out of there just in time. Now, backline for Ulster. If they score now, they would move up. But Ulster has a bonus point already. They do, but they need the bonus point win to feel safe in this contest. It's a rough pass and the ball, the ugliest bounce of the day, you'd have to say. It just skidded through low. And that is the end of the game. Ulster lose 26-22. They still sit in 8th, but now the confirmation is there. And that is that the Lions cannot finish last. out of these 9 sides. The Lions have secured their quarterfinal spot, ladies and gentlemen. But now it's just that question of will it be Munster or will it be Ulster who get that final spot? If Munster get a bonus point from their game up against the Lions later on at Thorpeman Park, Ulster will miss out. They will have the Challenge Cup final next week for their game up against Montpellier, but that would be the last of their matches. I wouldn't be too upset as a Stormers fan. I would get my left arse cheek to have the Scarlets in their place, says Fleshin. Yeah, that's true. Like, the coach is getting called to be sacked and all that, but he's above 14 other coaches at the moment in terms of the standings. But some people, unless a side is undefeated and never make a mistake, they aren't happy. Which I feel like you get that in all sports. There's always going to be someone who complains about a side no matter how well they do. Thank you, Hamish. My brain is sore. Yeah, that one hurt my brain too. Luckily now we know what has to happen in the final matches that are all taking place tomorrow. And while we're at it, we might as well show you the way that those matches are going to shape up. So we have had these 3 games up the top. Those are the odds there. As you can see, Cardiff managed to get themselves the victory. And then the 2 favourites getting the job done in the Glasgow and Connacht game. There is Sharks versus Zebre. That doesn't affect the top 8. Bulls versus Benetton does. But the thing is, the Bulls are now just trying to get themselves back into 4th. They would need 1 bonus point in their game up against Benetton, and that would put them above Cardiff in the standings, and that would secure the home quarter final. Now, if the Bulls were to lose that game by 8, they would actually have to play Cardiff away from home in the quarterfinals, which would make it a little bit more challenging for that Bulls side. For Leinster, if they get themselves the bonus point victory, they can finish as high as 2nd. Glasgow with the win there and the bonus point, they have secured the number 1 seed, which means that no matter what, if they win all their games from here, they will all be at home. And they would, of course, if they win all their games from here, win the URC. But Scarlets, Dragons, that doesn't affect it. Munster, Lions does. Lions are confirmed, but Munster could lose. And then that would mean that they would be knocked out by Ulster. Munster need 1 bonus point from that game. So hopefully that all makes sense. Leinster, they need 2 points from their game up against Ospreys to finish above of the Stormers. Bulls need 1 point from their game up against Benetton to finish above Cardiff, and Munster need 1 point from their game to finish above Ulster. So still a lot that can happen throughout the final day. You didn't win everything well enough. Says Big Rig, and Red Roses are undefeated at 37 games, and their fans still complain. Says Big Rig, and Bulls missed out on the 2nd place with that last penalty. That could be the nail in the coffin in Stormers' victory, says Ben. Can't the Lions actually end up at 3rd? That is true. They can get the boost. I should have probably said that, shouldn't I? Rather than just saying they're safe. I think I was probably a bit too... I think I was just happy the Lions made it, to be honest, because last year they missed out narrowly. The year before that, they missed out narrowly. But yeah, in terms of the live standings, the Lions, they are currently sitting on 53, so they can technically go up to 4th. They won't have more wins than Leinster's, but yeah, they can take the home semi, but more than likely 5th is where we'll see the Lions sitting, as I don't see a way that the Bulls don't receive any points. Even a bonus point would be enough for them to go above, I believe, the way that it sits in terms of wins and losses. Oh no, technically 1 point for the Bulls, 2 for the Lions would mean that they finish slightly above. There's going to be a lot of a headache tomorrow as well, isn't there, in terms of all the technicalities of the table. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, as we are going to be back with plenty more action taking place later on for Super Rugby as well as the URC. But yeah, thank you all for watching. We will see you all for the next one.